Hi, Fresh and Rumi. How are you guys? Okay, I have a question. Fresh, I don't know if you have any kids. Rumi, tell me, has 5Ks ever fallen off the bed? Because my mom guilt is like through the roof today because Auden fell off the bed. And hey, Michael! I forgot today was Wednesday, and I forgot now was noon. Hey, it's Bishop! How are you, Bishop? Oh, I just moved my whole table. I need to move these. My arm things. They don't do me any good. Yep. Cheers. I keep telling myself I'm not going to drink Dr. Pepper anymore, and then I always go back on that. 5K has never fallen off the bed. Both my girls fell off the bed. Yeah, Bishop, this is going to be my new streaming time on Wednesdays, at least for a while. We're going to try it out, see if it works. I was talking to my husband about some scheduling things, and it just made more sense for me to stream earlier in the day than like later. It just made more sense for me to stream while Charlotte was at school. And I can stream a little longer if that's the case. But yeah, so this morning I feel really jerky. Hey, it's Amy! Oh, Amy, how are you? I've been meaning to text you for like a week now because I know things have been rough at your household. I am so sorry. And I feel super crappy that I haven't like reached out to you and seen how are you feeling? Are you okay? How is everybody? I mean, I know that's probably a really big, like, that's kind of a loaded question, but drink Dr. Pepper. Kalulu wants you to be happy. I mean, it doesn't have any sugar in it, so I think what frustrates me is the fact that before I got pregnant with Auden, lies. Before we even moved here, I was a certain size in all my clothes, and then I got pregnant and obviously wasn't that size anymore, and I still have all those clothes, but I don't fit into those clothes yet. And I'm frustrated because ever since Charlotte started school, which we're going on almost 3 months now, I've been walking almost 6 mornings a week with Auden in the stroller. And I keep adding weights to the stroller. And I just feel like I'm just staying at my same, like I'm not gaining anything, but I'm staying at my same size. And I'm really frustrated about it. I feel jerky. I feel like a jerk because this morning, Auden isn't crawling yet, but she somehow managed to roll off the bed, and it was on my watch, and I feel like a horrible, horrible parent. And I know God makes babies rubbery, and I mean, it was a fall, like it was a fall onto carpet, and she's fine, and I made sure she hadn't broken anything or anything like that, but I still just felt crappy, and she was screaming, and she was crying, "Hey, it's Happy J! How are you, Happy J?" To be honest, the last few days I've been really meh. I feel that. On a good note, today I had some physio and relaxed. Feel a lot more recharged. Nice. Okay, wait, physio. What is physio? We are officially over the worst of it. Yay! Hooray! Hooray for Amy and her whole family. That makes me very happy. That makes me very, very happy. Good for you guys. Rumi says the worst that's happened to 5Ks is tripping or face planting. Well, yeah. Charlotte fell off the bed. I was right around Easter time, I remember, because my mom was in town, and she didn't even start to cry right when she hit the floor. She must have been a little older than Auden is now, but she didn't even cry. She just kind of like looked up at me like, what just happened? And then the tears came, but Auden just started screaming right off the bat, which is funny because when she gets vaccines, when she gets shots, she actually only cries for about 10 seconds. And the second I pick her up, she's fine. Whereas Charlotte was the opposite. Charlotte would cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. And Charlotte is very dramatic, and we all know this, and you guys have witnessed this firsthand. She's very, very dramatic. But Happy J says, okay, wait. Oh, I missed what Fresh said. What did Fresh say? There was an article online about people with a Fitbit and walked actually gained weight. Well, I do have a Fitbit. I actually put it on my shoe because I'm pushing a stroller, so it doesn't count my steps. But the funny thing is, I lost weight I didn't even know I had back when Charlotte was born, and I started walking every single morning. However, I think the reason I I think the reason that worked for me so well, because I wore a weighted backpack and I put weights in my stroller, but the walking route we had was just more vigorous than the walking route I have now. We walked all over a college campus and it was kind of up and down. And then I figured out a route to where I would walk about halfway through the walk, and then the rest, the last half home was literally just a straight, like solid. It was a small incline, but it was a solid incline the whole way back. And so it worked me really, really hard. And this one, our neighborhood, it has a couple little inclines, but not like, I wish the whole thing was an incline, but that's impossible. So physio is like a deep muscle massage. Oh, that sounds lovely. Our bed is a little tall, so yeah, we don't leave him on there. Yeah, well, I'm not leaving her on the bed anymore. Chandra makes me push the stroller because when we go for walks, because she wants her steps to count. Yeah, I just stick mine on my shoe. I got a couple extra. I have one of the old school Fitbits that doesn't even have a screen or anything. And I actually really like it because it notifies me of calls and text messages just with a little light and a buzz. And I really appreciate that. I don't need a screen. I went through the whole Fitbit Luxe. I bought a Fitbit Luxe because I decided to splurge, and I actually really didn't like it at all. I was really disappointed. I bought a couple. They have like silicone straps, and I bought a couple extra silicone straps. Not Charlotte. Wow. Auden actually loves chewing on them, but I just stick it to my shoe, like put it on my shoelace. But I really think it's a matter of just figuring out how to get the most out of the walks I'm taking now, because I think I just need more weights. I need more resistance. I need more, since I don't have as much of an incline to work with, I need more resistance in my stroller. So I need more weights in the stroller, more weights in my backpack, whatever. But I don't know. I'm really irritated about it. Sam and Emily rolled off their changing table. Oh, okay. Neither of my babies rolled off their changing tables, but both my babies have now rolled off the bed, and I feel like a really crappy parent. But I mean, she was fine. She was really cranky after that, and I think she would sit there and she'd be okay, and then all of a sudden she'd remember and she'd get really upset again. But it's okay. I've actually been really frustrated as a mom because Auden wakes up at about this. She's been waking up at 5:30 in the mornings, and no matter what I do, I cannot get her to sleep past 5:45 in the morning. And that means I am awake at 5:45 in the morning, and I have to be up at 6 anyway to make sure Charlotte's lunches and all of that stuff, but I did everything I could yesterday because everything I looked up said you need to get your baby to bed early, make sure they're not overtired. So I did that. She had great naps yesterday, got her to bed early, and she woke up even earlier this morning. She woke up at 5:10. Fresh says losing weight is a behavior problem. If I can control the man in the mirror, I would be rich and skinny. Ain't that the truth? I know diet makes a big difference too. And here's the funny thing. I really don't eat much during the day. I really don't. I probably should eat more, to be honest, but I don't. I just forget about it. I usually have like 2 rice cakes with peanut butter on them for breakfast. And then I usually don't eat anything else until lunch. And sometimes I don't even really eat lunch. But I have been known to eat an entire bowl of popcorn for lunch. What are you going to do? And then I have whatever we're having for dinner. I need to drink more water. My thing is, when I finish my walks, I don't feel like I've worked that hard. Whereas back when we lived in Austin, when we had a little more of a rough terrain, I felt like, not rough terrain, but there were more inclines and declines to kind of work with, And so I was getting these little cardio boosts like throughout the walk because we walked the same amount of, not same amount of time, but like the same distance. I'm walking the same distance that I was in Austin, but it's just not as much of a change in the terrain. Like there's some incline, but not a lot. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm kind of frustrated about it, but I also should probably just get rid of those clothes because then I just look at them and just go, I don't fit into those clothes anymore. And it's just making me feel bad. And I should probably either get rid of them or just put them somewhere where I can't see them, where I kind of sort of forget about them, because then I'm just basically punishing myself every time I look in the mirror. Or not the mirror, the closet. But anyway, so I added even more weights to the stroller this morning. I don't remember what I'm up to now, but Auden is 16 pounds. And then I have at least 20 to 25 pounds, extra pounds in the stroller. And then and then I have 15 in my backpack. But it's just not, I don't know. It's just not enough. But I did find, I don't know if I've talked about this, but I did find these killer, awesome, low impact workouts on YouTube. I can post the link on Discord that I actually really, really enjoy. I don't like jumping. I don't like being crazy during a workout. It's not comfortable for me. I'm a really curvy person, so it's just not a comfortable thing for me to do lots of like jumping jacks and like kickboxing and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's all low impact. There's no jumping, but it's high intensity. And it really is. It gets my heart rate up super high. So if there's a day where I can't walk because it's raining or whatever, or like on Saturdays, I don't go walking because Charlotte doesn't want to come with us. She can't fit in the stroller anymore anyway. I have like a double stroller thing and she's 7. So she doesn't fit in there anyway. So I just do one of these YouTube workouts. And it's run by this British guy who is like the most positive person in the world. I too am a curvy person. In fact, I am all curves, like a potato. Oh my gosh. Yes, potatoes are all curves. But we all love potatoes. Who doesn't love potatoes? Charlotte doesn't love mashed potatoes, but she does love French fries and potato chips. Speaking of potato chips, have you guys ever eaten cottage cheese and potato chips? Like dipped chips in cottage cheese? I think we've talked about this before, but that is this household's number one snack. And it started with Ander. Ander started it when he was younger. I don't know where his mom got it, but he started it when he was younger. And now, like, I could seriously sit and eat an entire thing of cottage cheese just with chips. And that's our number one snack in this house, and it's delicious. My favorite is roasted chicken fat dripping potatoes. I mean, that sounds amazing. Rumi says not cottage cheese, but I love Ruffles with Highland French onion dip. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Amy, I need to start walking. I got to build my stamina back up. That is true. And the nice thing about walking is that it doesn't take much, that's one of the things I really like about it is it's not complicated and yet it's so good for you. And it's something that you can take these baby steps, after you guys have been ill for so long. The thing is, I know we have like a little walking like group in our church congregation, and I've been invited to it multiple times, but the reality is I wear a weighted backpack. I have weights in my stroller. I've got like the way I do things. And I remember Angela was like, you should just come join us sometime. No, that's not true. Hate is a really strong word. I have a hard time when people tell me to just do something when I have a baby. I'm like, there is no just doing anything when you have a baby. There just isn't. And what my stroller is like laden down with extra weights. I can't just crunch it up and put it in my car. Nope. If I'm going to walk, it's just going to be in my own neighborhood, period. That's it. I'm not going to get anybody in the car and go anywhere. Although now that I think about it, we do take Charlotte to school in the mornings. So we are already in the car. But once again, my stroller has weights in it and everything. So I don't want to move all that around. Bishop, I think I have, or some kind of aioli dip. That sounds intense.
Good news, everyone.
Oh, we got a gift from Jordachi. Nice. Thank you, Jordachi, for that gift. I walk in New York City. It's great. Druggies and muggers chasing me. I feel like you said something like that last time. New York City. Yeah, you're walking over like homeless people and stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, does New York have a lot of like inclines and declines? I feel like it's all relatively flat, right? Am I crazy? I haven't been to New York in a really, really long time. But that's one of the things I really liked about our old Austin walking grounds. And the funny thing is, so we lived there for probably like 3 or 4 years before we ever knew about that college campus. And it was kind of hidden back in the woods, literally. It was hidden back in the trees. And one day, so Andrew got started on this app called, shoot, I can't remember what it was called, but it was kind of like geocaching. It was like, you know, you go find something that was like, you know, hidden or something like that. And it took us back. We used to do it together before we ever had kids. And it took us back to that campus. And we were like, we didn't even know this campus was back here. It was a beautiful campus, all wooded, lots of trees and stuff. It had this cool little bridge that it was a big bridge across this big ravine, and there were trees all over the place. It was so pretty. And we had no idea it was back there. And then, of course, once we eventually had Charlotte, I started wearing her and walking around there just because it was pretty and it was nice. And, you know, I needed to get out for my sanity. Hey, Jordachi, I would live in the heart of downtown New York City if I could. I don't know if I would live in New York City. Ugh. It seems like it would be, I know I'm an intense person, but I feel like it would be too intense for me. I don't know. Maybe it's also because it gets so sticky in the summertime. Amy used to walk 6 to 8 miles a day before. It's nice to walk with others, but also sometimes I like to be alone. Well, see, and my problem is I like to listen to books. So I don't want to walk with other people because I'm like, okay, I need to listen to my book, which is rude. But, you know, so... I started wearing Charlotte on these walks and taking my dog May May, and that's when I started walking before I went to work in the morning. And it just kind of became this habit. And then I was losing weight. I didn't realize I needed to lose, and I was feeling better and happier. And I was kind of out of the funk that my delivery, like Charlotte's delivery and my postpartum and all that stuff had put me in. So I just continued. And I got to listen to my audiobooks. It was like my 30 minutes of the day that I got to listen to any audiobook I wanted. I listened to so many great audiobooks in those years. And I've listened to good ones too, but those were the really good years. I don't know. I haven't been able to quite recreate the same like book playlist that I listened to back then. That's when I listened to like World War Z and Bird Box, which was fantastic. And like the Brothers K, and I remember listening, A Monster Calls. I listened to A Monster Calls, which is the saddest book, one of the saddest books I've ever read. The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom, which is a true story, and then A Monster Calls, which is fictional, are the two books that have like wrecked me the most in my life. And I remember listening to A Monster Calls, which is a wonderful book, and I recommend it, but it was so sad. And I remember it was around college time, like it was around when all the kids were in school. I think it was in October. So the mornings were cool, so Charlotte and I didn't have to go walking until around like 10 a.m. on the days I didn't work. And I was sobbing while I was walking across this college campus. You just finished A Monster Calls? Did it make you cry? Oh, that book wrecked me to the core. I couldn't even talk to Andrew about it because I couldn't even keep it together just trying to describe to him what was happening in these chapters. It wrecked me so hard, and I was walking around that campus just sobbing, like bawling my eyes out, and all these college students were probably like, who is this freaking crazy lady? She's got her giant stroller and her baby and her dog, and she's crying. Oh my gosh, you would have thought I'd like lost a family member or something. It was insane. Rumi says, I like where we live now, just a neighborhood but close to town. I agree. That's nice. I think I would like that too. Jordachi loves being around all the people, like being in a place with lots of places too. Maybe I would enjoy that. I don't really know. I'm not a crier at movies or books, but it is good. Oh man, it wrecked me. And then I remember also, like, I'm glad I read it, and it really changed my perspective on how to speak to somebody who is potentially either going through having a terminal illness or has a loved one that's going through a terminal illness or you know, experiencing that or whatever, and especially children. But I'll never read it again. And I can't watch the movie. There's no way. Like I said, I can't even like, I might be able to talk about it now because it's been years, but I couldn't even explain to Ander like what was happening without just breaking down. And then when I read The Hiding Place, which is all about the Holocaust, it's a true story of Corrie ten Boom's experience. She wasn't even Jewish, but she was caught for hiding Jews in her house. She and her sister were sent to concentration camp, and I remember we were at Outback Steakhouse. I was reading it for a book club. I was so angry with whoever chose that book. And Ander was like, "So how's the book?" And I was like, "Well, it's you know, there's this and this happens and this happens and then this happens." And I was a mess. I was a weeping, sobbing mess at the table at Outback Steakhouse, and people were like staring at us, and luckily we were almost done with our meal. So he like ushered me out really fast, and I was like, I would have just laid down and died. I would have asked one of those guards to just shoot me. And Ander goes, "You don't know that." And I was like, "Yes, I do. I never would have been able to live through that." I was just I was having almost a borderline panic attack because the story was so awful. And I just couldn't believe real human beings could do that. And I mentioned to Ander, I don't know how these Nazi guards slept at night, knowing like after what they did. And Ander said they didn't. And that put things in perspective for me. He was like, we all act like sometimes I think it's easy to forget that they were also human beings, and they were also afraid for their families and for like taking a stand against what was going on. Anyway, we don't have to get into that, but oh man, Hiding Place and A Monster Calls, 2 books that absolutely wrecked me, totally wrecked me. Generic 3-piece of bullies. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I could never live in the suburbs, even though my parents want us to buy a house in their neighborhood. Oh my gosh. And it'd be so much cheaper. Well. And living any closer to downtown is just impractical with a baby. That is true. Bishop lives in the suburbs. I've experienced living right around the corner from my own mom. But then again, I think my mom is a little more on the needy side than your parents probably are. But I can't even imagine. But at the same time, I think of living in the same neighborhood as like my dad. And I think I could probably do that. My dad's not nearly as like my mom expected me to be over there every single day. And I was like, why? I just saw you yesterday. Like, I mean, I love you and we get along really, really well, but I don't get it. Like, why do I have to be over here every single day? I just don't get it. Jordachi, I will never live near my parents again. I love them, but no thanks. Ander and I just had a conversation about this a couple weeks ago because there's a woman in our church congregation who actually just passed away from cancer. A couple weeks ago when we were talking about this, she had just been sent home on hospice because the doctor gave her a month to 4 months to live. She was only 60, I think. It was a really heartbreaking situation. It was really awful. And consequently, there's a chance my next Wednesday stream will either have to be at a different time or be shifted to a different day or something because Ander is going to have to officiate that funeral, which is kind of strange. And he's kind of like he was really like when he found out she had cancer, he said, I had a really bad feeling about it. And I was really worried that it would be me directing her funeral. And sure enough, she just passed away a couple nights ago, and it was really awful and really sad. But we were talking about this and about like if something like that happened, like if I lost Ander or if Ander lost me or whatever, and we kind of had to have that heavy conversation to be like, well, what would we do? And I would probably move back to Utah, closer to my dad, or I would live with my dad for a little while, although they don't have a lot of space. Maybe my sister has some space. Maybe I'd have the girls with me, obviously, but I don't think I would stay here by myself. My mom is here, but my mom is in an assisted living facility. That's not the same. Like, if she were still living in her house in Utah, then that's where I would go, but she's not anymore. So, Bishop says, city stresses me out. I like cities, but I'm with Rumi. I like being close to them. Like, I don't know. I like being close to them. I'm kind of between Rumi and Jordachi because I like being close to them, but I don't necessarily want to live like right in them, but I don't want to live like far away from them either. Like if Ander had his way, he would live like up in the mountains somewhere where the closest Walmart is like 3 hours away. No, that's not what I want to do. I live in Texas. and not Missouri for a reason. I couldn't live near my very toxic family. I hear that. And the whole situation that happened between my mom and me over these last 2 years has definitely changed the dynamic in our relationship. She's definitely not the same person she was a couple years ago due to all the pain she's been through, all the surgeries she's had, her Parkinson's, all of those things have kind of turned her into a slightly different person. And I love my mom and we get along, but things are not the same between us as they used to be. But even when we were really close, I could still only handle my mom for like maybe a week. I would go out there and visit and I'd stay with her for like a week. And then I'd be like, I need to come home. I am done. I can't, Yeah. Andrew was like, cause Andrew served a mission, for the church in Arizona, but part of that mission was spent up in the mountains of New Mexico. And this was like far away in the mountains of New Mexico. So all those people, yes, the closest, like they went to Walmart like once a month and loaded up on all their groceries because the closest Walmart was about 3 hours away. And Andrew was like, I think that's great. And I was like, what happens in an emergency? What happens if you have a kid who needs like insulin or something and the closest pharmacy is how far away? No. I need some sort of civilization. Like I need stuff like a city close by, but I don't want to be like smack bang in the middle of it. Bishop is 35 minutes from the city, but I'm in an area like 5 minutes from a big shopping center. Well, that's nice. See, some conveniences. Like we are right in between two Walmarts. We have a Walmart grocery that's just right down the street from us, and then we have a bigger Walmart that's right down the other direction, which is really nice. So we're right between those two Walmarts, and then there's an H-E-B a little farther up from that Walmart up there. I mean, we're in a pretty good location. We also have a gas station right at the entrance to our neighborhood. So when the freeze hit and we couldn't drive our cars, we could at least like walk up to the gas station. It was treacherous and Charlotte slipped like 7 times, but she wasn't listening to what we were asking her to do. We were like, Charlotte, you got to hold on to us. And she was like, no, I can walk myself. Slip. She cried every time she went down. We were like, girl, you gotta listen to us. She was so miserable by the time we made it home, but we were able to walk to that gas station and get, some of the things we needed. But man, Jordachi says living in the middle of nowhere sounds like torture. I'm kind of on the fence there because I have learned as I've gotten older, I think I would be okay being kind of, so like on the drive, okay, so where we live, and then if you drive down to Austin, there's a lot of stretches of just kind of land, and there are kind of these random houses kind of like off in the distance. I wouldn't mind living in one of those houses because a city is relatively close by, but you're not in a neighborhood where you have like cookie cutter houses right next to you, right? I think I would probably be okay living in a situation like that and having a lot of land. Andrew tells me that if we ever live in a situation like that or find ourselves in a situation like that, we're going to get a goat, because apparently if you have a goat, you can like write your taxes off as like, you can say you're like like your farmland or something, and you get some sort of tax deduction. Andrew wants a goat. He had a pet goat when he was a teenager, and he's been trying our entire marriage to talk me into getting a goat, and I am not going to get a goat. I've tried all 3. The city stresses me out, but the country bores me to tears. So you've reached the middle ground, right? So you're okay where you are? Like suburbs are kind of like a balance of both those two?
Good news, everyone.
Scorpio! I grew up in the middle of nowhere and I miss it. People can be the worst. You know what? I actually kind of agree with that. People can be the worst. And these days, goats are the worst. Oh yeah. Actually, they think one of their neighbors poisoned the goat. They don't think it died of natural causes. They think somebody poisoned the goat, either poisoned it or fed it like bad food or something like that, which I guess is technically the same thing, kind of. Yeah, no, I am with you. I think so I think of my clients. Now, my clients all lived in a very, very wealthy area, big giant houses. Everybody was super, super wealthy. Either that or they were all in debt up to their eyeballs. I don't know. I don't know. But they all came to see me and they put food on my table. So it didn't really matter. Like, I didn't know where it came from, whatever. But I do remember the keeping up with the Joneses that went on, and it was exhausting. I mean, my clients could not take a holiday without going somewhere fantastic. And maybe that's what people do when they have massive amounts of money. I don't know. I don't have like endless income, so I obviously can't take trips like that. But I think it did get to a point with my clients where they felt like they had to take these trips because everybody else was taking these trips. So, you know, they'd have like Columbus Day, you know, like this weekend, we've got a 4-day weekend. Ugh. 4-day weekend stressed me out because I'm like home here by myself with Charlotte and Anand, and Anders working. Anyway, but there would be like a 3-day weekend, and they'd be like, well, we're just gonna pop over to the Bahamas or something like that. And I'm thinking, what? Really? Do your kids need a trip every single time there's a holiday? Whatever happened to a staycation? Just staying, like, you live in a giant mansion. Isn't that good enough? Like, isn't that cool enough for you to live in your house? Your house is awesome. And they just couldn't, you know, everybody. And so it got to a point where they were all like seeing each other at the baggage claim, and they like knew half the people on their flights because they were all flying to the same places. It's exhausting. I can totally see what Scorpio was saying. It's absolutely exhausting. Is that a thing in the USA? Cookie cutter houses? Yes. Yep. Yes. Okay. If you ever watch Edward Scissorhands, that's what cookie cutter houses look like. And it's meant to look that way in Edward Scissorhands. They're all different colors, but they all look the same. They all are like the same type of build, and there are tons of them in one neighborhood. And that's kind of what our neighborhood looks like. Like, all the houses look slightly different from one another, but they're all kind of roughly the same layout. Some of them have different like fronts, like their front window is in a different place or whatever, but for the most part, most of them look the same. So yeah, that is totally a thing. Yeah, like cloned houses. Amy's planning on moving to closer to Georgetown. Oh, that makes sense. Man. Oh, I'll be sad if you guys move. Kalulu wants Ander to be happy too. You should get a goat. I don't think I'm going to get a goat. I really don't. Stixel wouldn't know what the heck to do with a goat. Although maybe she'd love it. I don't know. Maybe she would totally love it. That is a great question. Fresh, I would live in the middle of nowhere. I must have great Wi-Fi, municipal water, good electric, and natural gas hookups. Great Wi-Fi. That's what we all need, right? I know, that's kind of like me. I'm like, yeah, I could totally live like off in the middle of nowhere as long as I had, you know, Wi-Fi, and as long as I had like a grocery store nearby. It's kind of like what I say when I go camping. I don't love camping. I will go camping. I will go climb rocks. I've done a lot of like hiking / camping in my life because I grew up in Utah. My parents were terrible campers. So we always found like ghetto little tiny creepy hotels, like hotels, and we all survived. But if I can have a shower at the end of the night and like running warm water, I'll do anything. I'll hike, I'll get dirty, I'll wade in mud, I'll do all sorts of things. But if I can just clean myself off and sleep in like a relatively soft bed at the end of the day, I will do it. Ted Cruz's kids need it, at least. Yeah, well. Want my honest opinion? I hate the whole cloned house thing. Well, yeah, I don't want my house to look the same as all my neighbors either. But this was our first house we bought, so we really didn't have like that much of a choice. I think it also depends on where you live. Like in our city, it's growing so fast that the houses are just popping up like one after another. We got lucky because we actually have a relatively large yard. And nowadays you see these neighborhoods where the houses are so close to each other. There's hardly any yard between them. It's just like, they're almost like townhomes, but they're actual houses. Scorpio says that trip shaming is real. I have seen the ugly side of it. Yep, I know. I felt it from my clients, and my clients, I'm sure they all kind of knew each other. Whether they were really good friends or not, I'm not really sure. Every once in a while, I'd have like a pocket of friends that would all come to see me. And then one of them would kind of deviate and go off somewhere else. And then another one would go off somewhere else or whatever. And then I'd keep maybe like one or two of them or something. But I remember in particular, so our school system or our school district had what they called a winter, it was in February, and it was a week-long break, and it was kind of unprecedented. Like most school districts didn't have that. So it was like a teacher prep week or something like that. I don't remember what they called it. And everybody in our neighborhood called it, well, I mean, we were in an apartment complex down the street, but all my clients, they all called it the ski break, because that's what every single family did during this break, was go skiing, because it was February and they all had lots and lots of money and they could all take these big giant trips. And their husbands, I think, also traveled so much for work that they had points, because most of my clients flew Southwest. So they had lots of like points built up or whatever. And so they would take the ski break. That's what everybody called it, was the ski break. But apparently, I think it was only 4 days. I think they had, or maybe it was only 3. It was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But all the parents pulled their kids out Monday, Tuesday as well, because they thought, oh, well, it's just 2 days. Like, whatever, it's not a big deal. And for years, all my clients were all gone around the same time, and they all came to get their lashes done right before that ski break. And everybody went skiing. They went everywhere. Colorado, they went to Utah. They got so excited. Oh, we're going to your homeland. We're going to Utah, and we're so excited. We're going to Park City, or we're going to, Deer, whatever it is, Deer Valley, whatever. And then finally the school district was like, all right, you guys are abusing this. We're going to take a day away, and it's only going to be Thursday and Friday. And everybody was outraged, but they still kept pulling all their kids out of school for the entire week because they wanted to take that ski break. And so finally one year, all my clients came in so upset, and they were like, they took away our ski break. They took the whole week away, and now we don't get anything. And I was thinking, well, I mean, I did have one client that was like, it's our own fault, really, because we've all been pulling our kids out, and it's totally our own fault. And I was like, man, I just can't, like, that is a totally different planet for me. Like, I just can't even, and my clients were like, oh, it was basically like a high school reunion. Like the whole entire class of Vandergrift High was basically at the baggage claim. Like the entire school was there because everybody takes the same trip. I was like, huh. The cloned house thing would make me feel like I was in some sort of communist village. Well, it's not quite. I mean, I don't feel that way. And I guess it depends. The Edward Scissorhands definitely has kind of a weird, kind of sinister feel to it. I love my neighborhood, but our houses do all definitely look pretty similar. Jordachi wants a place in the city and a flat in Dublin that I just go to whenever I want. That's the dream. That's right. That's what I would like. I'd like to be able to travel and like have somewhere else to be, you know? This city is one of the fastest growing in the world. Same thing here, but we don't have the issue of cloned houses. Oh, well, you're lucky then. Scorpio says a coworker was worried because his daughter's friends were going to Vail and he wanted to do something for them so they wouldn't get ridiculed. Oh, yeah, see? No, that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing sounds exhausting. And it goes on in every kind of level. My favorite is the type of peer pressure that I feel is when my neighbors mow their lawn before me. That's the kind of peer pressure I feel. I'm like, crap, they mowed their lawn. Now I have to mow my lawn. But we definitely don't like feel like we have to take trips or whatever. But man, in Austin, it was really, really bad. Amy's never been camping. Growing up, my parents said camping was staying in a hotel. So I haven't wanted to until recently. Well, my mom snored like a bear. So none of us wanted to stay in a tent with her. Camping was always kind of miserable for us because my mom snored and because my parents didn't really know what they were doing. So once they started putting us in hotels, things got infinitely better because, I mean, we could all sleep with earplugs in, whatever. And my mom, eventually we found out my mom had sleep apnea, so she doesn't snore anymore. She has a CPAP machine and she doesn't snore as long as she's sleeping with her CPAP. But gosh, for years we were like, who's going to sleep in the bed with mom? Like even my dad was like, But, I have many, many memories of trying to camp and like setting up tents and stuff and just being miserable at it. But once we started staying in little motels, they were creepy. But I have some great memories of the trips we took, but it definitely wasn't like camping. I believe the term is glamping. Yeah, well, call it whatever you will. I don't love, like I said, I'll do anything as long as I can have a shower at the end of the night. Roomie's fine with small yards. It's a drain on resources. That is true. Unless you don't water your lawn like us. We don't ever water our lawn because it's just going to die anyway. It's either going to die in the hot sun or it's going to die in the winter. No point. Just no point. Too many suburban lawns are just setback requirements from outdated planning standards. I actually wish we could do some sort of ground cover that doesn't require any maintenance. Like my mother-in-law right now is doing a no-mow lawn. She's just landscaping and adding rocks, and like she has a better eye for it than I do. And I would do that in a heartbeat. But Anders said, I don't know how that works for the resale value of the house because people want lawns. But I would be perfectly happy with some sort of low ground cover that you don't have to mow and you don't really have to water very much. Fresh's dream is to have a house in the city and Pocono Mountains. Did I pronounce that right? Pocono? Pocono? Where are those? Honestly, a house in any mountains sounds divine. Screw the Joneses. I put a jungle as the front of my house. That's okay. Bishop doesn't bother competing with neighbors. To me, it's a bit silly. Well, of course it is. I straight up told Chandra I'm spending my retirement money on a van conversion. Hey, van dwellers, there's a big market for that. There are a lot of people that just, I mean, that's huge. That's really, really huge. The thing I have against lawns is the waste of water. I have native plants that hardly need to be watered. I would be fine with having something like that. We don't have an HOA, thankfully. People want lawns. I'm not a fan of them. I think the real estate agents want lawns, probably. I mean, lawns do look nice, and we have a few in our neighborhood that are beautiful lawns, but all those people have big old trees in their front yards. They got lucky, and they have big old trees in their front yard. We don't have any trees in our front yard, so our lawn just gets scorched. So I would much rather have some sort of like low ground cover, or just like, you know, like in Arizona, people don't have lawns. People don't have front lawns. They have rocks and stuff. I don't know. I don't even have a lawn on the front verge. I just have sand. Yeah, see, that's what my mother-in-law's adding. She's adding like rocks and sand and like mulch, and she's got all this little like landscaping she's doing, and I think it's great. I don't have the eye for it. I don't know how to like design it to make it look cool. I don't know. I would be willing to do something like that, but I don't know. I'm not, and honestly, I don't have the time to do that right now. That's not a priority of mine to sit and, you know who loves mowing the lawn with me is Auden. I can wear her on my front and she faces outward and she just kicks her little legs and she gets so excited when we mow the lawn together. It's great. I can like multitask. But if I played Animal Crossing, that is true. I didn't think about that. I have a hard time designing my farm in Stardew Valley, but I think part of that also is because I'm not really a crops farmer. I don't really like doing the crop side. I really like doing the livestock side, so I'm kind of like, whatever. But I've seen some gorgeous farms. Oh my gosh. People are amazing. Maybe I should play Animal Crossing. Or Minecraft. Okay, can I be honest? I know nothing about Minecraft. I literally know nothing. Oh, there's an ad for anybody that's just FYI, all your eyes. I hope nobody's mad. I don't know anything about Minecraft. Nothing. I've never played it. I've never watched anybody play it. I don't know a dang thing about it other than the fact that it was an obsession. Probably still is for a lot of kids. Speaking of, oh, it's like Legos on the computer. Oh, wow. That sounds fun. Charlotte has the Lego Worlds game for the Switch. Put a dare on my stream. I could make that a community challenge. I've never played it before, so I would be very... I can only imagine how that would go. People being like, no, you're supposed to do this. No, stop, you're supposed to do this. Charlotte has the Lego Worlds game on her Switch, but she doesn't ever do like kind of the free play. She likes organization. She likes rules. She likes to know exactly where the standards are. She's like Emmett from the Lego movie. Where are the instructions? Or the constructions, as she calls them. And I just think it's too adorable to like actually like correct her. Everything is awesome. I love building Legos in real life, but as far as like doing it in a video game, I don't know. I don't know how I would really feel about that. I am not a master builder though. I am not a Lego visionary. My brother was a master builder who could literally just look at a pile of Legos and be like, yeah, I think I could make a spaceship out of that. And he would just make a spaceship. I can't do that. I'm the one that needs the instructions. I'm like Emmett. Where are the instructions? Yeah, I don't know. Jordachi never liked Minecraft. I get bored way too fast. Aren't there like zombies in Minecraft? I feel like I feel like there are zombies in Minecraft. I don't know, but it's just never been anything that's really interested me, but I don't know. But speaking of interesting games, first of all, Axiom Verge is freaking awesome. So here's my shout out and recommendation to any of you. If you're looking for something that kind of scratches that 2D Metroid itch, obviously we have Metroid coming out on Friday. I didn't watch the whole review, but apparently people are raving about it. And apparently it's really, really great. And it's epic and it's awesome and it is just gonna be great. But Axiom Verge is a pixelated, like pixel art, 2D adventure platformer that I got on the Switch. I don't know if it's on sale anymore, but it is, one of the things I really like about it is it is so, I mean, it's Metroid-ish, but it's so different than what I thought. It's surprising me all the time, like the power-ups you get, or like the enemies and the way that the bosses are set up and all that stuff. It's always just a really kind of fresh surprise, and I really, really like it. I've already like had multiple jump scares. But I just really, the story is a tiny bit hard for me to understand, but it's proving to be right up there, I think. Not necessarily, I mean, it's not going to take over Metroid. I think the story of Metroid is easier to follow, but I think it was created by one guy and he did a great job. Yeah, it's really great. I highly recommend it. It's awesome. And it has a very kind of creepy vibe. The soundtrack is a bop. Oh my gosh, the soundtrack is great. Very synthy. Michael would really, really like it. And, you know, just fits really well in with that like Metroidvania type style. And I don't know how I missed it for all these years. But anyway, I hear great things about Metroid Dread, and how could it not be awesome? I mean, come on. I think just watching the trailers, we know it's going to be a fantastic game that just looks like it's going to be totally awesome. There are different styles of gamers. Some gamers are all about loot. Some are about chilling and making stuff. Minecraft is more about the latter. Yeah, I know nothing about it. I have absolutely understood. Did someone say synth? Squirrel. I think that's what you call it. Synth? Yeah, I think so. That was one of the things that struck me about the Eastward trailer was the soundtrack. I really liked the soundtrack to the Eastward trailer. And Fez, well, Hyper Light Drifter has the same type of deal because Disaster Piece did Hyper Light Drifter and Fez. And those both are very synth heavy, right? That's what I'm thinking of, right? I do love Hyper Light Drifter. And I love Fez. I recommend Fez as well. Fez is great. It's a great, very unique puzzle game. It's really, really well done. Oh, I've played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love Symphony of the Night. Oh, I think that's the very first game I ever fully streamed, actually, a couple years ago. I still have a clip from it from somewhere. I was trying to get, somewhere on my Twitch. I was trying to get the Chrysogrim sword, which takes forever. And, I got it, like I killed the thing and it fell on the ground, but because of my muscle memory, because I'd been doing it so much, I left the screen before I got it and I had to do the whole thing over again and I was so upset. Yeah, the Castlevanias do really, really well. I've played Castlevania Symphony of the Night and then I played a Castlevania that was actually on the 3DS and you're a female. And there's a male character named Albus. That's all that sticks out to me. I remember zippity zap about the story. I just remember you're a girl and there's a character named Albus and I remember really liking it. I thought it was really good, but those are the only two only two Castlevanias I've ever played. But I love, you know, the Axiom Verge, you know, follows that same pattern where it's got the same type of map structure, same type of kind of room structure. You'll come across places that you can't get to yet. And you're like, all right, obviously I need some sort of upgrade. But the upgrades are always really, they are not what you think they're going to be. And that's all I'll say about that. I'm really impressed with the uniqueness of it because all the games, you know, these games can really start to feel the same. Like, you know, it's all following that same formula. But like Hollow Knight, which took the same formula but kind of turned it into its own and added all these quirky characters and a gorgeous illustration style and all that stuff. Axiom Verge is all pixelated, but I don't know, it's really unique. It's really surprised me. What I think is going to happen never happens, which is awesome. I've read books like that too. One of the books, a book I read that was like that was called The Ruins by Scott Smith. And that's about like a killer plant and a bunch of like young people that get stuck on a hilltop in Mexico or something with this killer plant. Yeah, I know. It sounds vicious, sounds crazy. I heard it was really scary and it was terrifying, and so I read it. And I was kind of like, I mean, they made a movie of it, and I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. However, I was constantly surprised by not necessarily plot twists, but I mean, this goes as no surprise. All of the young people that get stuck on that hilltop with a killer plant, all of them die, but not in the ways I thought. It was very, very, each time something terrible happens, it was never what I thought it was going to happen. And I thought that was actually done really, really well. But overall, I was kind of like, They just re-released, or are going to release, Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. Aria of Sorrow is the spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night. I did not know that. I think, don't they have a Castlevania collection on the Switch too? I feel like they do. I could be wrong. I need to check the sales again. I always check the sales just in case they have sales for things that Charlotte might want to play. And then of course that I might want to play like on the side. I don't know. But I did love Symphony of the Night. And I remember beating Symphony of the Night and text messaging my brother and my sister and being like, yeah, I beat it. I'm so happy. And what was I going to start after that? I was going to start, maybe it was Skyward Sword. Because actually, I played Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid late. I came to that game, those two games, really late. Like, I didn't play either of those games until I was in my 20s, living in Austin. Like, I never played them when I was younger. And so I finished Symphony of the Night, and I finished Symphony of the Night. And my brother was like, wait. No. There's like a whole different like map system, and there's like a whole different thing. And I was like, oh, really? I don't really know if I want to do it. And he was like, no, come on, Sue. So anyway, I think I had to look up how to get like the rose glasses or whatever. And then the inverted castle appeared, and I was totally blown away, and I was hooked once again. And all of the enemies in the inverted castle are like 5 times harder. Crazy. The first 2 games, yeah, I don't know. I need to go back and look, but Castlevania, I mean, just the fact that they have the term Metroidvania, that shows you something. Or that tells you something. It works. It's a method, or, you know, it's a formula that works. And so is the Zelda formula. The Zelda formula is a formula that works as well. Although I personally liked the break and the kind of breath of fresh air that Breath of the Wild was, in the fact that it didn't follow the exact same formula. To me, it was a breath of fresh air. To a lot of people, it wasn't. A lot of people, like, I know J-Hops is like, it wasn't a Zelda game. It didn't feel like a Zelda game. It was fine, but it didn't feel like a Zelda game. I ate it up and loved every minute of it, and there are obviously plenty of people who did, but there are people that are like, it was great, but it wasn't a Zelda game. They like that formula of like the dungeon, get an item. My thing with the Zelda though, and I love Zelda and I always will, always, but I do feel like sometimes they struggle making you use your items that you get in these dungeons outside the dungeons. Case in point, the spinner from Twilight Princess, which I think is one of the coolest boss fights, and is involved in one of the coolest boss fights, and is one of the coolest items you get. And you literally only use it a really small handful of times outside the Arbiter's Grounds. Arbiter's Grounds is my favorite. I always love the deserts. I don't know why. I always love the deserts. But I love the Arbiter's Grounds, and I love the spinner you get inside it, and I love the boss fight. I thought it was really, really unique. Very, very cool. But then you really only use the spinner like maybe like 2-3 times maybe, unless you're getting like a secret outside, like a chest or something. They're just not... I just felt like every dungeon you come to, and this is easier said than done. I don't write video games. I don't know how to make a video game happen. But every dungeon you come to from, after you've finished other dungeons, and you know what did this really well was the game called Blossom Tales, which is a direct ripoff of Zelda. However, they did a really good job of making you have to use all the items in your inventory. And every time you get a new item, the next dungeon you come to, you have to use that item as well as the item you get in that dungeon, as well as all the other items you have. And I feel like Zelda sometimes falls into that trap of like, okay, you're gonna get this big old ball and chain and you're only gonna use it in the ice place. And maybe once or twice outside, but pretty much just in the ice place. So I don't know. I feel like, and Breath of the Wild did a really good job of that. You need all your stuff. You need lots and lots of stuff to get through everything. And they give it all to you up front. All the runes that you use and all of the like Shieka slate stuff, like you get all of it up front. And then you collect, you collect a lot of stuff along the way, like your arrows and, stuff like that. But I really liked the way they gave you all those runes at the very, very beginning. And then they're just kind of like, okay, go have fun. You can go straight to Ganon if you want to. Breath of Fresh Wild. Yes, that was exactly what it was. I was so into that old formula that I couldn't figure out how to get off that dang plateau at the very beginning. Cause I was like, I cannot find these. There's a shrine all the way up there, but I can't get there. I didn't realize you can literally go anywhere, that you can climb anywhere. I was so stuck in that, like, okay, where's my next clue? And once I realized you could literally just go anywhere and you could just climb anything unless it's raining, I was like, it was totally nuts. Jordachi's a sucker for old school RPG formula. Turn-based and all. Sadly, not a lot of big developers, apart from the Dragon Quest developers, are making those kinds of games anymore. But man, I love the formula of those kinds of games. It's funny that, it's funny you say that because one of my favorite games of all time that I will eventually stream, I just have to find a time. I think I have in my heart that I'd love to do a full cast of it. It's Final Fantasy VII, but I don't know if that's ever going to be a reality simply because of my streaming schedule and whatnot. But Final Fantasy VII is very close to my heart, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I really actually like the fighting in it, that turn-based kind of fighting. And every time I've played it, Ander is like, this is so stupid. If you were fighting bad guys, why are you guys taking turns? And I'm like, you are not a gamer. Stop judging my game. Get on out of here. Isn't it called a Shieka slate? Am I wrong? It's spelled like that. Is it chic? Shika? Shaka. Shieka? Sheika. It looks like it should be pronounced Shieka. No. Because the E and the I, oh, wait. I've always pronounced it Shieka. But to be honest, I don't use the word that often. So I had to think about it for a second. PS1 Final Fantasy has my heart. You know what? I've actually never, ever played any other Final Fantasy games. I take that back. I misspoke. I played Final Fantasy 9 for about 4 hours and was like, this isn't doing it for me. I don't like it. I did play Chrono Cross, which is very similar. Didn't love Chrono Cross nearly as much as I loved Final Fantasy VII. And then I played Final Fantasy Tactics, which I actually really liked, but I was playing it on a disc. I played the disc and the disc got damaged, and therefore I couldn't play it because of the damage. But I've never played any of like the ye oldie Final Fantasies. Like I never played any of the Nintendo ones. Thanks, Amy. I love you. I'm glad you're feeling better. You and your family. My best to all of you. Seriously. I want to tell you the correct way to pronounce it, but I also kind of don't. Oh, and Final Fantasy IX is your favorite? That's the one with the guy with the monkey tail, right? Why did I not really get into that one? I don't remember why I didn't really get into that one, but there was something about it. I didn't feel as connected. Honestly, I don't even remember what the fighting is like. I remember very little about it. I just remember not loving it nearly as much as Final Fantasy VII. I mean, whatever. Everybody to each their own. I have Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, and it is the greatest because you can speed up your grinding, which is fantastic. You can make Cloud run super fast all over that little map. But I don't know. And then of course, I loved the Final Fantasy VII remake. Yes, they took some freedoms, and the ending was super bizarre. But I get it. They wanted to go out with a bang. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I was like, man, I don't understand why we had to. It's so weird. But for the most part, most of it, I thought it was fantastic. And it was like all my little 14-year-old dreams were coming true, because here was Cloud in all his beautiful, beautiful anime, gorgeous glory. And even Charlotte was like, Mama, you think Cloud is handsome, don't you? I was like, you bet I do. Everybody in that whole game is beautiful. All of them. Except Hojo. Not so much. 7 is also fantastic. Even 8. I hated the 7 remake, but I think I've said that on here before. Yeah, I know. I love the remake, but I don't even know what expectations I had for it, really. I was just kind of like, I was kind of trying to go in with low expectations, and for me, they knocked it out of the park. I thought it was great. Now, yes, there were a couple scenes where I was like, I don't understand. What are these hooded things? I don't understand. Why are we adding things that weren't in the story before? And then and I've already said this, the whole chapter with Jesse made me really, really angry, because I felt like they added this whole chapter with Jesse that was never in the first one to add fluff, I'm sure, to add, I mean, it did slightly deepen the story, kind of, but the way they did, I don't know. They could have just, And so they chose to add that, and then they chose to add the most wackadoo ending when they could have cut out that whole part of that whole scene that takes quite a while, and then they could have cut out that whole wackadoo ending, and they could have ended the part 1. They could have ended when you get to Calm, or they could have ended when you get to like the Chocobo farm and you have to, get the Chocobo. Let's say that the last boss is like the giant snake, or I don't know, where do you go after the snake? Or you don't beat the snake, I guess. You come across it and it has like the big giant sword through it. But I don't remember where you go after that. Is it Junon? That's probably where they should have ended, because Calm doesn't take very long. Whatever. Anyway, overall, I thought it was great. But 8 is underrated. See, I've never played Final Fantasy 8. I should probably. I do remember when that game first came out, I was like, who is this? Oh, he pretty. Just like Cloud, but he looked better because the graphics were slightly better. He was pretty. They stopped before Cosmo Canyon. Who stopped before Cosmo Canyon? Because Cosmo Canyon is not in the remake. They stopped the remake. Did you play through the whole remake? Have you played the remake at all, or have you only seen gameplay? Because they stopped right when the crew leaves Midgar. So after adding their wackadoo ending that made no sense. The hack and slash battle system and breaking up the game in parts killed it. I will agree that breaking it into parts was a little brutal, because now I'm like, when is the next one gonna come out? But it was a delight to play. I really loved it. I thought it was really, really great. But I did get bummed out that you never got to actually control Red 13. He's always just kind of this, he's AI from when you meet him, even when he's in your battle system here and there, he's technically not part of like your party that you can like use and upgrade and whatnot. So that was a little bit of a bummer to me, but for the most part, I feel like they did a good job. But they have a lot of younger generation people working on this new remake, where it's very clear that a lot of them don't have that nostalgia because they either didn't play it, or like, I don't know. It's just, you'd think that the game worked the way it worked. You'd think that you should just remake it the way it was remade, like the way that it was made. Why would you add things when it's literally one of the most beloved games of all time? Why would you change anything about it? But it's the same question that gets asked like when they made the Harry Potter movies. Why would you make that change when the book worked so well? Why would you take that out, or why would you add that in there? It makes no sense. In the original game, you go to Cosmo Canyon. Oh, that's right. Wait, do you? Oh, because he goes across Junon with you. He goes across the water with you. That's right. Oh, thanks, Happy J. This isn't water. I just realized. Sorry. But I'm hydrating anyway. Gosh, I can't remember. It's been so long. But that's right. Because he's dressed in the sailor's costume, and he's He can't walk on two legs, right? On the ship. I played about 10 hours of the remake. I couldn't deal with it anymore after that. Oh, so you didn't make it very far at all. I will say that the whole like Honeybee Inn, Don Corneo, all that stuff, as utterly ridiculous as it was a blast to watch. It was, I mean, it was quite the... They actually performed the Honeybee Inn song at the concert Charlotte and I went to. I was really surprised. But yeah, it's... And they had like the whole thing where they're like Cloud's on stage and when he's like dancing. It was so bizarre. And I was like, man, this is so ridiculous. They knew this was ridiculous and they just decided to totally go for it. Might as well. It does contain water, that is true. But no sugar. Bring! They probably want to appeal to a wider audience whenever they make changes. The originals are usually going to buy it no matter what. That is actually probably true. They're trying to pull in, you know, like that generation of these new gamers that aren't used to that kind of gaming because they didn't play the originals. I don't know. When we went to the concert, there was some guy sitting behind us that had never played either game before. And I was like, wait, no, lies. I'm sorry. I misspoke. He'd played the original, but it was a long time ago. But he'd never played the remake. And I was like, you're here at the concert and you never played the remake? Isn't this spoiling everything for you? Some people don't mind being spoiled. I personally don't like spoilers, but he was obviously totally fine being there. And he was like, yeah, no, I haven't ever played the game, but I've watched some people play it and it looks really great. I'm like, this is a lot of money to pay for a concert ticket for a game that you've never played. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to Stardew. I'm gonna switch my screens, but that doesn't mean we can't keep talking about... Oh, I see your emote. It contains water, though. That's a good emote. I like that emote. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Original Gangsters? Is that really what OG stands for? Are you serious? My copper something is done. I saw that. Oh, didn't I have like an asteroid come land on my farm? I think I did. Also, I did not hear my channel point sounds. Why didn't I not hear my channel point sound? I am Confucian. Oh no. Okay, first let me set... I just see... Oh, somebody is... My dad tried to call me. My cute dad. Aunt Pearl. Such a blessing. Let me get a timer going here so I know exactly how long I have to talk in a British accent. Okay. All right. This actually goes perfect because I've been listening to Harry Potter. Harry Potter. But I've been listening from Stephen Fry, which is better, I think, than Jim Dale, but that's just my opinion. Dear Susie, tomorrow we're all gathering at the beach for the annual Pelican Town Luau. In highlight of the event is the communal potluck. Potluck. Make sure you bring something good to contribute. The governor himself is attending the event, so make sure you're on your best behavior. Come to the beach sometime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. What if I don't want to go to the luau? I don't have anything to offer. Do I? No. I have so many points. Well, then you need to put them toward a scary game, don't you? You might have already done that, I don't know. I'm gonna have to play that game. Every day I check. I'm gonna have to play that game eventually. I'm kind of scared. It's gonna give me nightmares. There was some trailer I saw on YouTube for some scary game about a train. I don't know. It looked extremely frightening. Oh, I need to go find my asteroid. Or whatever it is. Whatever it is. How did Chris Pratt pronounce it? Whatever. Whatever it is. It's only been 1 minute and 30 seconds. Seems like a long time. Where was it? Was it down here? I don't remember. Don't tell me it's... Oh, there it is. I see. Oh, but I need my pick. Oh, all right. Let's go get my pick. 11 out of 10. Woo! Well, that's very, very kind of you. I think I'm mixing accents. Like, I think I have, like, multiple different types of British accents in there. I don't know. All I know is when I went to London years ago when I was 14, I desperately wanted to meet some British boy and be his pen pal, and then someday we would get married and have darling little children with British accents. That's what I wanted. Or Scottish. I would have taken Scottish. It would have been fine. But alas, I married a fisherman who constantly talks about jigs out on the water. That's kind of a running joke in our household. He doesn't talk like that. All the other fishermen he watches talk like that. Got my copper pickaxe. I did indeed. Now we can go break. All right, it's been 3 minutes. Stop. Bit of Yorkshire and London there, but it's perfect. Yeah, see, I'm sure I have a couple mixed together. But I hear a British accent so much these days because I'm listening to Harry Potter like all the time. I'm playing Stardew now. This kind of reminds you of I should read all the letters in a British accent. I can. Sure. Why not? Let's go break open that thing. Whatever it is. I need to move this over yonder. Boop. Oh. I can't add that. So I can't add a fishing lure to this fishing rod, right? I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm playing Stardew. I'm not really sure. We are all planning on me streaming Metroid Dread. Is that what? You've got to be kidding. Really? Well, okay, now that my pickaxe is... So will that just hang out there until I can break it open? Because I've never had it... I've never not been able to break that open before. Eggs! Eggs! Love. Eggs. Is it egg or is it egg? Egg. Kind of like pillow or pillow. Orange or orange. There's another one. Caramel. I don't know, man. Oh, I guess I need to change my stream info. Yeah, so huge shout out to Basically Dad for telling me Twitch has been compromised. So FY all your eyes, you need to, oh, see, and now I can't even, oh, dang it. So you all need to change your passwords. Apparently. What did he say? Thanks, hackers. I know. It's like I said in Discord a while back. Like, I really wish people would use those skills for good. But of course, alas and alack. Stardew Valley. Cute Stardew Valley. We love Stardew Valley. Sure. Okay, so I have been trying for not forever, but for a long time to get this lighting right on my YouTube videos. I'm limited on where I can record these videos, but I have this open blank stretch of wall on in my bedroom, and I finally bit the bullet, and I actually purchased some LED lights, and I finally got the lighting right. Of course, Ander tells me that the lighting was fine the way it was before, but I'm a perfectionist and I was not happy with that. Oh, you guys give me coal. Get on out of here. Get on out of her. You don't use as much energy when you have an upgraded tool. Is that correct? I think. Oh, yes, that's what we need. We need iron ore. Or what? I think that's a joke. Do any of you guys like the company that makes like Chicken Run and like Wallace and Gromit? I'm pretty sure that's a joke because he's in Early Man, which was really funny. Not the best one they've made, but it was definitely worth a watch. About the cavemen that have to play soccer to get their land back. It was very funny. But yeah, Lord Nuth is the bad guy, and he wants to mine ore. And so he tells them to start mining ore. And his little assistant is like, "Ore what, Lord Nuth?" And he looks at him and he goes, "Idiot! Ore from the ground!" I'm pretty sure Tom Hiddleston does his voice. Now there is a beautiful person. Tom Hiddleston. I'm pretty sure he's a Disney prince in real life, I think. Pretty sure. Gonna go out on a limb and say yes. I'd never seen him before I watched the Avengers. And I was like, who is this person? I do not know who you are, but I like you. Security hacks are a bit complicated. Hackers usually come to the company. Oh, I gotta get out of here. There's a bat coming after me. Come to the company first to fix the vulnerability. The company usually brushes them off. Then the hackers leak the info to prove a point. That actually does make sense. Wow, see you later. I'm just here for ore. And yeah, yep, just here for ore. I need a stronger... How much was it? I think it was 5,000. R.I.P. Goodbye, money. Have any of you guys heard of the place Goblin Valley? We have been to Goblin Valley multiple times. It's in Utah. It's a national park in Utah. And if any of you have seen Galaxy Quest, the place with like all the rocks and the crazy, crazy big giant rock formations in the background, that is Goblin Valley. And it's in Utah. They have campsites, but we always stayed in Green River, Utah, I think, which was just a little outside. I think it was like an hour to drive to Goblin Valley. Or no, I'm sorry, not an hour. It was like 30 minutes, something like that. I've been there multiple times, and oh, there's a glow ring. I need that. I need that. What do I need to give up? All this stuff I foraged? Yeah, I can. Oh, but I can add that. Yeah, yes, yes. Yes. I need to. There you are. I want that. And a jade. Cool. Some jade. A jade. Some jade. I don't know. Okay, wait. I'm waiting for a Captain Marvel sequel. I need more for Brie Larson. I've never even seen Captain Marvel. See, I've never seen any of them. Or a lot of them, anyway. Goblin Valley is the nickname I give to my bedroom. Goblin Valley is great. Super awesome place to go and camp and whatnot. Definitely not as impressive as like Zion's Canyon, but seriously, that's what it looks like. It's just miles and miles and miles of these wacky rock formations. And they look like little goblins. I think my mom called them hoodoos. And then there are just these giant, huge rock, like towering rock walls in the back. And it's just the best place. It's like a huge adult jungle gym. It's crazy. I've been there twice. And we stayed in sketchy motels both times. Like, we're talking like Silent Hill type motels. Creepy motels. It was a bad situation, but we survived. And then my mom, who is just this type of person, she found out there was an old Indian burial ground close by. So she was like, come on, let's go find this old Indian burial ground at night. So she took us to this Indian burial ground that was all fenced in. Seriously, I don't know how my mom didn't get like killed. You can't just go walking on an Indian burial ground at night, not to mention it's private property because it's fenced in. But I didn't get out of the car. I didn't want to go there. I was having a bad time. I don't remember why. But there was like, the only way in was this super little like crooked stile that went up over the fence and back down into the burial ground. Yeah, aren't they haunted? I don't know. But they're private property and you don't want to mess around with, you know, I don't know. I thought my mom was insane. But I remember the first hotel we went to stay in, we had booked a reservation and everything, and it was on this little plot of land, and there was like a little bed and breakfast close by. And there was smoke coming out of the chimney, and there were a bunch of cats everywhere, but nobody was around. Like, nobody. We could not find a single person. We knocked on doors, everything, and like 2 of the little motel doors were just open and the rooms were empty. It was the creepiest feeling. Oh my gosh. And my parents were finally like, you know what? We're just gonna cut our losses and we're just gonna leave. We'll go find somewhere else. We'll stay at a Motel 6. Sounds good. It had these giant structures outside of it, like dinosaur skeletons and stuff made of garbage. Yeah, we had some good times. Glamping. But Goblin Valley is great. Goblin Valley is a super fun place. Gunther. I highly recommend it. But if you're going to go to a place like, you know, if you're going to go to a place like Utah to visit national parks and stuff, you have to go to Zion's Canyon. Zion's Canyon is a must. Oh, I did that. Did your request, Jordachi. I delivered. That spoonful. 8:50. Oh. Oh, I wish I could go to bed at 8:50. But I have to stuff all the things I want to do being an adult into the last 2 hours of the night after my kids go to bed. So, it is what it is. So that asteroid will just stay there, right? It should. I've always had a strong enough pick to open it. Got a letter. Greetings, Susie. It is our pleasure to inform you that your farm will be featured in next week's up-and-coming column of the Stardew Valley Tribune. Congratulations. We're impressed with your quick progress. Your quick progress. Stardew Valley Times. Oh, today's the luau. Crap. My melons aren't. Oh, no. My peppers. Okay, I can add a pepper. I'm supposed to add something. It died! What is this? What is this crap? I am outraged. Hey, Scarumbo! Oh, okay, now we have a real British person. I can't talk in a British accent anymore because Scarumbo is actually British and he will laugh. Oh my gosh, he'll laugh. Oh, I'm supposed to go to the luau at 9, right? Dang. Yeah. One of my channel point rewards is to talk in a British accent for 30 seconds. Or 33 minutes. Wow. Okay. Can we rewind? Because I feel like that whole thing was just all total gibberish. Let's rewind. I'm so sad my crop died. I guess I need to water them. I guess. I smile but not laugh. I enjoy your voices. Well, I'm glad. I don't think I do a terrible job, but I think I have lots of different like dialects in there. But I've been listening to Harry Potter on audiobooks, so I hear it all the time. Stephen Fry has such a lovely voice. Oh, I can aim. I don't want to go to this luau. I really don't, but I guess if I'm supposed to marry somebody in this city, I probably should. Oh, speaking of, we need to go check our fruit bat cave because this is why you get the fruit bats. You don't ever have to plant any trees because they will because they will leave fruit for you sometimes, not today. I do a very accurate Alan Rickman. That is an excellent talent. You know, speaking of Alan Rickman, we just watched A King of the Hill yesterday that Alan Rickman was actually a guest star on, weirdly enough. He plays this guy. There's a Renaissance festival, and he plays the manager of the Renaissance festival, and he goes by the name of King Philip, and he's a jerk, and he will only speak to people when they address him as King Philip. Like, he refuses to act like he's actually in 2000 whatever or 1990 whatever. So. But I remember I was in the bedroom and Andrew was like, Susie, who is it? And I listened for a second and I was like, oh, that's Alan Rickman. And then today, Andrew watched an episode where Jeff Goldblum was in it. Did you guys know that King of the Hill was canceled? I thought it ran its course, but it apparently did not. It was canceled. Ceiling leaves starfruit. Do I need a 3,000? I don't need one that badly. Elliot. I woke up late, stepped out of the door, and found myself in the middle of all this hubbub. Oh, Elliot. You're just so funny. How's the farming coming along? It must be a busy season for you. Wait, didn't I fix this bridge? Governor? Who cares? We do this festival every year to give the governor a taste of everything the valley has to offer. A slow, continuous rotation is key to achieving the perfect roast. Okay. All right. Thanks for that tip, Linus. Whatever Linus is roasting smells awfully good. Good thing I came with sunscreen. Oh, Henry. You know, you're a man after my own heart because you got to protect. I hope the soup is good this year. Well, I brought a pepper. I'm full, but what else is there to do besides eat? I think we can all relate to Clint right now. I know I can. One year, Sam put a pound of anchovies in the potluck soup. That is disgusting. Who said they liked anchovies? Did somebody like anchovies? No, it was Alex said that he'd eaten anchovies. It's tiring to socialize with everyone. I'd rather watch the sea. Perfect weather for a beach party, huh? Oh, yeah. I would dance, but I don't want to get sweaty. All right, that's fair. Emily is shaking it. She's unresponsive. Okay. True. Vincent isn't a good dancer. That's not very nice. Jazz. I'm bored. Ow, you stepped on my foot, dear. This is tiring, honey. Aren't you ready to visit the buffet soon? I'm tired. I'm dancing. Yeah, you guys sure look like you're, yeah. That music! It's too loud. Can I have a little peace and quiet to enjoy the ocean? The smell of the ocean takes me back many years, long before you were born. Have we talked to everybody? Nope, there's Shane. And what's his name? Wow. You don't get a hot pepper chutney like this in the big city. Speaking of, I brought a peppered. A pepid? I'm full, but it's COVID out. True. These blasted sandflies keep landing on the food. Those blasted sandflies. Free buffet. One of the perks of living here. Enjoy it, kid. If you brought something for the soup, climb up the stairs on the other side and throw it in. Y'all, can you imagine a thing that large with soup in it that you have to actually climb the stairs to put something in? I put fresh vegetables from my garden into the communal soup pot. Well, I will do the same. And it will be gold star quality. See how the governor likes that. I remember one time we were at our church Halloween party and they were having a chili cook-off. And I remember we sat at the table with some friends of ours and they leaned across the table. The guy leaned across the table and he goes, I put an entire jalapeno in my chili. Now, maybe that would impress some people, but Ander eats like serrano peppers like plain. So we were like, a whole jalapeno. Whoa, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, it's going to be spicy. Ander was like, okay. I don't like spicy food, but Ander eats super spicy food, so. Well, folks, it's time once again for the potluck ceremony. I trust that you all put high quality ingredients in the pot this year. We don't want the governor to regret his visit to the valley. Oh, calamity. Of course, I've been looking forward to this all year. He reminds me of what Cornelius Fudge, the Minister for Magic, would probably look like. Maybe a mixture of Cornelius Fudge and Vernon Dursley. I don't have much to say about this. It's an average soup. What? You've got to be joking. I added a whole pepper! I don't think I've ever gotten that before. He's right. It's nothing special. Not bad, though. I've never gotten that reaction. It's always been like, oh, once again, Stardew Valley has delivered a delicious soup or something. I am beside myself. The soup was just average, but otherwise the luau was a success. So annoyed. We just had a luau, actually. Our church congregation just put on a luau because we have a lot of Polynesian people in our congregation, actually, and it was a huge hit. I did not get to go. I don't even remember why at this point, but I didn't go. But apparently it's going to become an annual thing because everybody loved it so much. They were like, this needs to happen every single year. And I knew we were going to have a Halloween party next month, or this month anyway, so I was like, whatever. Tendies is on my bed. Governor rejects your peppers. Take that. Oh. I can't remember what I've added to the soup before, but note to self, no peppers. I thought that would give it, you know, I thought that would make it enjoyable for the governor. Apparently not. Fine, fine, fine. Are these ready? No. What else did I plant? Tomatoes and blueberries. And peppers. Yes. And hops. That reminds me of Zootopia. Did you guys like Zootopia? I loved Zootopia. And it gets better every time you watch it. Interesting tidbit. So Alan Tudyk, whatever his name is, who does like all the voices. Tudyk. I am probably totally butchering that. But he does the voice of the Duke of Wesselton in Frozen. And he constantly gets angry when people say they call it Weaseltown. And he says, Wesselton, it's Wesselton. And then in Zootopia, he plays the weasel. And when Judy and Nick corner him, he says, Weaselton, Duke Weaselton. Easter egg. And I was going to put that on the movie details, the Reddit movie details, and then I didn't. And then the day I thought about actually doing it, somebody else did it instead. And I was so sad. And they had like 40,000 upvotes. Not that upvotes matter, but I was like, I picked up on that too. Gee, dang it. Could have gotten 40,000 updoots. Oh, never mind. Do they do the haka dance? I think they did. They did the haka dance. Charlotte went with my mother-in-law. I know what it was. I had just, no, shoot, that wasn't that same night. Dang, now I can't remember. I don't know. There's some reason I didn't go. Either Auden had a really rough day And I didn't feel like leaving my mother-in-law with her or something. I don't remember what it was, but, oh, I need to go get a pickaxe upgrade. 5,000? I think it's 5,000. Oh no. I need to smelt first. But Charlotte had a great time. And apparently everybody had a great time. And I was like, Tudyk will forever be Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball. I've never seen Dodgeball. I know he did Hey Hey in Moana. This is what happens when you're a parent. You have a little kid that just watches cartoons all the time. Yeah, he did Hey Hey. They didn't have an actual chicken to play Hey Hey. They didn't use a chicken. They just used Alan Tudyk. Whatever his name is. I liked Moana. And actually, Hey Hey, the chicken, is probably one of the only Disney sidekicks that is completely useless. Usually the animal sidekicks, like, kind of have, like, somewhat real personalities-ish and kind of help out. Yeah, not Hey Hey. He's an idiot. And he actually gets them into a lot of trouble. And I was like, that is more believable for a chicken. It would be great if my bats could, you know, leave me a pomegranate. That would be awesome. 2016 was a golden movie year. Okay, what was released in 2016? We need to go talk to Gunther. Because I can't remember. 2016. Okay, 2016. Was that when Frozen came out? Frozen came out before Zootopia, yes? Am I making that up? I don't know. I can't remember. When was Charlotte born? Charlotte was born in 2014. So, no. So yes, Frozen came out before Zootopia because I was pregnant with Charlotte and didn't know it when I went to go see Frozen. So I was like super irritated with Frozen because I was so tired and I didn't really know why. I just didn't want to be there. I was like, ugh. And then all my clients were like, oh, Susie, you would love Frozen. I don't really know what that meant. Because it's animated? Because I'm kind of like a living cartoon character myself? Because it's a musical? Haley was looking for you, Alex. Just FYI. What do you want? I've got more important things to do right now. Yeah, okay. You stand there on the beach and do whatever it is you do. Susie, you look puzzled. I do? I guess the hot summer air can make us a little dizzy. Okay. Never been asked that before. Oh, we were going to see Gunther. I was going to go fishing, and then we were going to go swim. It's Natafan! Oh my gosh, how are you, my friend? My dude. How are you? How are things going over there without Twitch Sings? R.I.P. Have you ever thought about uploading, like, songs to YouTube? Like, kind of sort of open duets, kind of sort of, or what about Smule? Happy J, do you guys do Smule at all? I've never done Smule, but I know it's like a thing. Oh, that's right. I have to pick a spot for it. Okay, my net. Oh, ooh. Surviving. Oh, well, you know what? Sometimes that's the best we can do is survive. I'm proud of you for surviving. That's good. That is better than the alternative. I need to drop off my pickaxe. I've never done Smule before. I probably should. Can you upload Can you upload Smule videos to YouTube? What do I need? Steel pickaxe. Nope. I need 5 bars. Dang it. I'm good. I'm also surviving. I have good days and I have bad days. Yeah, things are like today, my 7-month-old baby rolled off the bed today. So that is awesome and makes me feel like an awesome person. Makes me feel really, really, really bad. I feel so guilty. I mean, she's okay. She was fine, but man, I felt like the biggest jerk. Knowing that she was crying like that hard and knowing that it was basically my fault because I wasn't watching her. She's not crawling quite yet. So when I had her up on the bed, I was like, and I had just shifted her too. Like she was not close to the edge. So she must have really made a beeline. I don't know how she did it, but I should have been watching and I just wasn't. And I just feel terrible. I'll do a duet with you. My voice isn't too bad. Listen, if I open duets, see, here's the thing though. YouTube makes it difficult because you'd have to like re-record. I don't know. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Clark on Stage, I believe his YouTube name is. And he has tons. All he does is duets. And he's got this really nice setup where he's got like a green screen in the back and everything. And he's off to one side and he's got his microphone and then he's got the words to the other side. And he does all the male parts to all these different songs, musicals, Disney movies, all sorts of stuff. And he's quite popular. And so far, he's the only one I've been able to find that really kind of does something like that. And I thought, I could do that too. I've been trying to get my YouTube set up to work and my lighting to not look super ghetto and crazy. But I think I'm finally there. I have to move my microphone, which sucks because it's kind of all like intertwined here, but whatever. And I've seen people complete his duets and upload videos where they're singing with him, but it's so much more complicated because you have to like record the screen, and I would imagine that these people are probably using something like OBS to do that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But that's like the closest I've been able to get to Twitch things. Hey, it's James!
Did you say that she should eat before she goes down?
Yes, I would give her a bottle right now. I would give her like one of the smaller bottles. He must not care about being monetized. Probably not. I mean, for me, like, it's just fun. Just remember what things we were like when we were kids. We survived. It's true. I know, I flew out of a car window, cracked my head open, almost died, and I survived. I'm obviously here for a reason. I think I was 3. I don't remember it. What I do remember about that, though, is I got stitches in the middle of my head. I wasn't injured at all when I flew out the car window on the freeway. But I did get stitches in the middle of my head. And I just remember they itched. And I picked at them. And my mom was constantly smacking my hand away. I do remember that. But I don't actually remember flying out of the car. I don't remember, like, the trauma. I don't remember going to the emergency room. My mom and I don't talk about it much because I know it makes her really uncomfortable. But, yeah, I flew out the window of the car because I was not wearing a seat belt or in a car seat of any kind. I biked down a big hill full of trees at full speed. I barely survived. I believe it. That does not surprise me. Wow. That is really frightening. My brother used to longboard, and I think he had a couple really close shaves on his longboard. Ooh. My energy is low. Did I eat my last snack? I think I did. Do I have any fish? No. Can I eat anything down here? I think I can. Can I eat these slimes? Can you eat monster slime? Oh, thanks, Michael. Like I said, I get these, you know, periodically I'll get people that are like, oh, that's what happened. And it's fine. I've never taken offense to that because whatever. Like, it's not a painful memory. It might be a painful memory if I remembered it, but I don't. I don't remember anything about it. Leave me alone. I can't move. I don't remember anything about it other than my stitches itching. But once again, like I said in that same stream, I told you guys I was in that car accident. I was also cracked upside the head with a bat by some kid at his birthday party. So I've had some head injuries, but luckily I've never seemed to had any like lasting effects or anything. But this is why you always wear your seatbelt. And my dad and my brother and my mom were all wearing their seatbelts, and none of them had any serious injuries at all. But I actually talked to my brother about it somewhat recently. I think this was the last time he was out here visiting right after Auden was born. And he actually told me all about it. He'd never talked to me about it before, but he told me, like how, ooh, look at all this iron. Oh, I don't have enough energy. What am I gonna do? Can I eat the coral? Dang it. No, I can't. Can I eat this? No. Can I can eat this. Can I eat this? Nope. I can eat the sap, but it'll kill me. Dang it. There's all this iron. I need it. I'm gonna pass out. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Fine. Is there a staircase just hanging out around here? Because that would be stupendous. I can't eat anything? Really? Darn, 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 darnity darn. Fine. Fine. I'm on... Fine. Susie the Pinata. Yeah. We were at a birthday party of some kid I went to preschool with, and the kid straight up cracked me on purpose. Cracked me in the head with the bat. It was the birthday boy. And my mom was there and was horrified. And the kid's mom was like, what do I do? My mom was like, you take the bat away from him. You put him in timeout. But it's his birthday. Yeah, and he just cracked my daughter upside the head. Well, we can look back on it and laugh now, right? My brother is relatively tall, and we had, so our house, like in our living room, there was a stairway that went down below the front door. So there was like a landing with a corner right there that, you know, that came down. You'd go down the stairs and you could see that landing right there and see the front door as you were going down the stairs. And my brother, one day, his friends were all over, and he was, you know, getting ready to leave, and he'd forgotten something. And so he went dashing down the stairs and apparently cracked his head on that corner right there and cracked it clean open. And he did not go with his friends. He went to the ER and they got staples in his head. Yeah. So that was great. I don't think my sister ever suffered any sort of like super intense trauma. Yeah, I can't really recall. Is this supposed to go to Gunther? No, but I feel like I need this rainbow shell for some reason. There's something about it that I can't really describe, but I feel like I need it somehow. Jordachi fell out of a tree when I was 3. Woo! It had fallen down in a storm and I'd climbed up the branches. It's hazy, but I'm fairly certain that I knocked myself out when I fell. I guess I came to and just went home. Well, if you were 3, oh man. I think of Auden, like falling off the bed. Oh my gosh. That's scary. Yeah, I think I fell out of a tree once too. So we had an apricot tree in our backyard. This isn't falling out of anything, but we had an apricot tree in our backyard, and it was the bane. We'd have to... It was whenever we got tons of apricots, it was great because we had lots of apricots and they were really good and they were fresh and beautiful and delicious and, you know, like perfect looking, and it was great. But we also had to pick up all the nasty, rotten apricots from the ground, and we had to, oh, tomatoes. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. And I remember I was holding a bucket and my mom was up in the tree and she was dropping rancid, rotten, nasty apricots into the bucket I was holding. And I was looking up at her while she was doing it, and she dropped one and it went straight in my eye. This rotten, nasty, And of course, who knows what's living in that thing? What kind of bacteria is in it? It was all nasty and fermented. Oh my gosh. So, of course, I started yelling. I was like, ah, you dropped it in my eye. So she runs me inside and starts rinsing my eye. I didn't have any problems, but it was horrifying. It was so nasty. My biggest childhood trauma is when a Doberman tackled me when I was 3. What is it about 3-year-olds? Oh my gosh. We've all had these traumatizing things happen to us when we were 3. Did Charlotte have anything traumatizing happen to her when she was 3? I don't think she did. That is terrifying. So it tackled you? Eyes are not good places for apricots. Listen, eyes are fine for apricots if the apricot is not... Can I chop these? Can I open these? Nope. Nope. Okay. Eyes, no, you're right. No, they are not good places for apricots. Fermented or no. Ugh. Yeah, so that was awesome. I'm trying to think if my sister had anything traumatizing happen to her. I don't think she did. Yeah, no, I can't think of any time my sister had anything super traumatizing happen to her. But she did fall off the bed when she was like, I don't know, 8 months old, something like that. Auden has now fallen off the bed. She's 7 months old. We were playing around with our old dog Maymay with Charlotte, and Maymay was jumping up on the bed, and she was jumping off the bed and running. She had zoomies, and she was running back and forth. And Charlotte went running out of the room. She must have been 2 or 3, maybe she was 3. I don't really remember. But she tried to run out of the room at the same time Maymay jumped off the bed and went to run, and Maymay like ran into her and cracked her right into the side of the door. And she hit right here on her face. So she started bleeding like under here on her gums. But there wasn't any lasting damage. She was fine. She didn't have to go. Oh, there's my cursor. She didn't have to go to the doctor or anything. Oh, but we did find one time we found one of my hairs wrapped so tightly around one of her tiny little toes that her toe had turned purple. She had a hair tourniquet. We found it at church, actually. We were at church, and she'd been super cranky for the last, couple days, and we didn't really know why. And then all of a sudden, when she was sitting in church, she was in her little car seat, and I suddenly looked down at her toe, and it was purple, and it had like this long hair coming off of it, which obviously had been wrapped around one of the little knuckles of her little tiny toe. It wasn't her pinky toe, but it wasn't her big toe either. And I tried to pull the hair, and it snapped off, and you could see where it had cut into the skin. And I was horrified, and it was in the middle of church, and I grabbed Andrew and was like, we need to go to a doctor right now. So we took her to this emergency room, like this, like a doc in the box kind of place. And she seemed okay. Like, she wasn't overly upset at the time. But then the doctor, oh, that is not what I want. But then the doctor started, like, I was really kind of amazed because this doctor didn't seem to have the right stuff to, like, dig out the hair that was obviously embedded in her skin. And he didn't really have great lighting either. And I remember standing there while he's digging around in my daughter's toe, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs. I was almost in tears because just as a parent, I was just horrified. Getting a haircut. Yeah, well, I mean, when you have a baby, like as a woman, when you have a baby, you lose so much hair. You shed all this hair because when you're pregnant, you don't shed anything. You keep all this hair, and your lashes are really full, and your hair is really full, and it's thick and shiny and beautiful. But they don't tell you that once you have your baby, you lose it all. I mean, I was losing massive amounts of hair in the shower. It was insane. So I wasn't surprised. She was kicking around on the floor, and so somehow one of my hairs got wrapped around her toe. So I'm very, very vigilant with Auden. So far, it hasn't happened. But I just remember this doctor was like digging around in her toe, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And she was in her car seat. We'd had her strapped in the car seat so she couldn't like wriggle and get away, which in hindsight was a terrible idea because she just needed to be held, poor thing. I don't know what we were thinking, but I will never forget seeing her look up at us out of that car seat with this look on her face, like, why aren't you helping me? She was just screaming. Tears were rolling down her face. And at that moment, I had a real appreciation for what my mom probably went through after we got in that car accident. And she was at the hospital with me because I'm sure, I was screaming. And she said, she has told me, I remember they laid you down on the crystal fruit. What? She laid me down on the crystal fruit. They laid me down on this table to take an x-ray, and I was, they stripped me down to my underwear, and she said you were shivering and you were screaming, and I was standing off to the side and I was just sobbing, and there was nothing I could do. And long story short, we apparently got the hair because they couldn't find a hair in there. They were using something that they used to lift sutures, I guess. But I had a key to my salon because I was a manager at the time. And after we left the doctor's office, I was like, that was so stupid. That was so stupid and pointless. Let's go to my salon. I've got a way brighter light and I have freakishly sharp tweezers. So that's what we did. It was like 7 o'clock at night and we went down to my salon, and there wasn't a hair in there anymore. But of course the doctor was like, if the toe turns purple or if it gets cold or like if it turns, I mean, it already looked a little bit better, but he was like, if it turns like purple or blue, then, you know, obviously come back and see us. But I was like, you were wildly unprepared for this. But they did say hair tourniquets are actually quite common with babies. Why is that guy flashing? Is he like fancy? You fancy, huh? So that was traumatizing for Charlotte. That was very traumatizing. But luckily she doesn't remember that. And she doesn't have any scar from it or anything. But yeah, how we kids. OMG, I just realized. That's funny. Yeah. Make sure if you've got long locks and you got a baby, make sure to double check your baby's toes or fingers. Usually the doctor said it was fingers because the baby a lot of times will grab at the mom's hair. But I wear my hair up so often around Auden because she grabs my hair and it hurts. So, you know, it's usually not her fingers. I would imagine it would be from hanging out on the floor, you know, with the carpet. No matter how much I try to, you know, how much I try to vacuum. It's no good. I really wish I had a sword. Like, this club is cool, but I really wish I had a sword. That would be stupendous. Just seems, it's just slow. My brother also stepped on a rusty nail when he was younger. Yeah, just my car accident and being hit upside the head with a bat. Yeah. I'm sure I had more things. Oh, there you are. I'm growing my hair out and 5Cuz loves to pull on it. Yep. It's not quite long enough to pull back with a headband, unfortunately. Oh no. Yeah, I was asked one time, well, why have long hair if you're never gonna wear it down? I was like, to pull it out of my face. Hello. When it's at a certain length, that's like a bob kind of length, like chin length, you can't really do anything with it. Other than maybe wear kind of a headband, kind of. Yeah, no. I was like, yeah, to pull it out of my face. That's why. And then I can wear it down when I want. But I almost cut a pixie a couple years ago. I got this crazy wild hair to cut a pixie. Wow, that was exciting. I didn't, obviously, but I almost did it. And then I thought, you know what? I'd probably go into shock if I cut all my hair off. I haven't had super short hair for years. I need to keep an eye on my energy gauge. Wow. 47. Oh. Just looking for, crap. Just looking for iron. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that with the babies. I want to say that crystal fruit is actually a winter foraging item. Unless I am mistaken. I think I can put that in the community center. I think. Hey. If you're lucky, you might see a frog in this weather. I do consider that lucky. I'd love to see a frog. We had a crazy little group of toads move into our planter boxes. And toads are poisonous for dogs, so we had to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Move them. Home them? Remove them? Something. I found community showers in a school dormitory without curtains or privacy very traumatic. I thought everyone was laughing at me. I feel like that makes sense. I would also feel super uncomfortable in that situation. What am I looking for? Winter crops? Winter. Rare crops? Oh no, not winter crops. There, you can't grow crops in the winter. I'm looking for winter foraging. I would also find that highly disconcerting. I don't blame you. There we go. Oh, what? Oh, it's this crocus I was thinking of. Winter root, snow yam. I feel like this crystal fruit Is it a crystal fruit? Is that what it said? Crystal fruit. No, I could eat that. Wild medicine? No. Fall foraging? No. I thought the crystal fruit was supposed to go somewhere. Relocate, thank you, Happy J. Good night, Bishop. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you for that word. Happy J, that was good. That was good, good. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Rare crops. Nope, nope. Okay, well apparently, nope, nope. I hate gym locker rooms when people walk around naked. I'm like, dude. Well, yeah. I would imagine. I wouldn't want anybody, no. I'm with you. I feel the same way. Some people just have lots of confidence and I'm like, that's awesome. Good on you. I personally would not feel comfortable walking around naked in a sports locker room. No. No. I can honestly say I don't go to gyms ever, though. Like, ever. Oh, I do. I have a frozen tear. Who likes frozen tears? Somebody likes frozen tears as gifts. Somebody here in town. I don't remember who. It's one of the boys. I think it's Sebastian. I think. I don't even want to be barefoot in a locker room. I don't blame you. Ugh. No, no. No, not the place. Not the place to be barefoot. It's 9 o'clock. I guess I'll go to bed. How many? Okay, I have enough. Tomorrow, we will upgrade my pickaxe. I'm going to take my iron ore to bed with me. Yep. I can make a preserves jar. Oh, dang. No, I need a fish pond. I need a lot of things. I have like nothing on my farm. I have a coop. Susie's frozen tears in the merch store. Freeze my tears. I did have quite the emotional day last Saturday. Could have filled a vial. Who is that chick that sold her bathwater? Oh, we have a letter. This is gonna sound super weird if I read it in a British accent. Hey, kid. My throat's about as dry as a desert bone. I'm real thirsty for a pale ale. You got one? Regular old beer won't do. I need a pale ale. Pam. Sure. Do I have a keg? I think I can make a keg. Can I? I cannot yet. I can make a crab pot. What do you need for that? No, I need my iron bars. How about a bug steak, Pam? Sturdy ring. Oh, I can make that. Cuts the duration of negative status. I can read. I'm gonna stop. Nope, gonna stop. I can't make it. I don't have a keg yet. I thought I did. The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. Yes. Oh, but I can make a cherry bomb. That is helpful for clearing rocks. I thought I could make a keg. Well, Pamela Ding Dong, you're out of luck, my friend. But guess what's ready? Aw, yeah. So those took how many days? I don't think I can plant more. Oh, I have peppers. I don't think I can plant more. Do I have any? Oh, I have some summer seeds. Oh, but I have like 30 of them. I also have lots of geodes I need to break open, but that costs money. And I need a new pickaxe. Those are my chickens, mooncake and pork. my dog is Tendies. Tendies. Such a good boy. Oh. Pam is thirsty. Bring Pam a pale ale. I do have hops, but I do not have any way to make pale ale. Pam. I thought you got a keg like early on. Apparently not. What am I doing? I'm taking a melon to the community center. Things are quiet. Oh, it's a Sunday. That's why. I'm not paying attention to the days. Gosh, I'm trying to think if... My mom has been in many car accidents, most of which were her fault. And she's walked away from all of them. Kind of astounding. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if my dad's ever had anything super physically. Well, my dad was in the car when I was ejected from the car. And my dad, I laugh, it's not funny, but my dad says that the car was like off the road. Basically what happened was we had just left a rest stop and we'd all switched places. This was before kids had to be in the back seat in, you know, car seats and whatnot. Where's Sebastian? Probably not up at 8:30 in the morning. So I was sitting in the front seat, but I was not in my car seat or buckled in any way. I was sitting on the floor and my mom was driving and my mom was like, Susie, you need to get in your seat. And I wasn't listening. I was 3. I wasn't listening. And so my mom, my dad and my brother were buckled in the back seat. And so my mom tried to get me into my seat while driving 65 miles an hour on the freeway. And she started to drift off the road. And then she started to drift. And when she overcorrected, can I come in here yet? Nope. Okay. That's when she went off the road and the car flipped. I was ejected from the car, came to land, you know, off the road. And so obviously ambulance came, took us all to the hospital, or maybe it was just a passerby. I don't remember. But my dad stayed with the car and he said he remembers this woman running toward him, yelling at him to get down on the ground. And he was like, what? Like, she wasn't a police officer or anything, or didn't appear to be one. And so he was like, I'm okay. Like, is everything okay? And she was like, sir, get on the ground. She was yelling at him. And he was like, I'm sorry. I'm okay. Everything's fine. And she goes, is this your vehicle? Were you in this car? And he said, yes, my wife is on her way to the hospital with my kids. And the lady goes, I am a registered nurse. You are in shock. You need to lay down on the ground right now. And he was like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. And she was like, sir, get on the ground. She was like yelling at him. I'm saving a melon because I feel like Demetrius asks me for a melon later. I can't explain why I think that. I just think that. So I'm saving a melon in case anybody is wondering. And I don't have a fridge. So anyway, she kept yelling at my dad to get down on the ground. So he finally did. And when he did, the whole world started to spin and he passed out. He was totally in shock and he had no idea. Thanks to that lady. Oh, I need to go. Is Clint open on Sundays? I think he is. But my dad may not have had very many like physically traumatizing things happen to him, like his physical body, but he did find a Hispanic man in his bed one night. True story. He thought it was my brother, actually. But it was not. And I remember when my dad told me that story. I think I've told it on stream before. Ah, yes. What am I asking for? A steel pickaxe. Yes. Thanks. I'll get started on this as soon as I can. Thanks, Clint. You're a pal. Thanks, my dude. Doesn't Alex work at that little ice cream shop sometimes when he feels like it? I think. Okay. I should probably go get another chicken. That's what I should probably do. And then I need to add more stuff to my farm. Because we have a few little crops and a chicken coop. A small one. Small chicken coop. What should I do on such a warm, lazy day? Well, some of us have to work, Leah. Excuse you. Some of us, the work never ends. Artists. No, JK, I have mad respect for artists. My sister is one. I have so much respect for artists. Oh, I just passed Marnie's. I want to buy a chicken. See, I get talking and I get distracted. Maybe. That's gonna come in. That's gonna help me a lot when I play Metroid Dread. I'll tell you what. Purchase animals. 800. How many chickens can I have? 4? I think I can. Okay, I need a name of a food for my chicken. Your dad found a Hispanic man in his bed. Ricky Ricardo. Lucy, I'm home. Yeah, it was in the middle of the night. And my dad thought he was asleep. And he woke up and there was a person standing in his doorway. And he had just moved into the house he was in. Like that day, they had spent all day moving in. It was him and my sister, who at the time was like 14. And my dad was exhausted. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And he woke up to find somebody standing in the doorway. And he thought it was my brother. And he was super groggy. And he was like, Joe, is that you? Like, is everything okay? And the person didn't answer. Oh. No, no, no. I am getting my buttons wrong. Axiom Verge has very different buttons than Stardew Valley. Biana. Let's name this chicken Banana. Whoops. A is the right. Okay. Banana. Anyway, this person did not answer my dad. So, he was just like, Joe, he thought, okay, maybe something terrible's happened. Maybe, maybe he's, maybe something's wrong. So he told my brother to come like talk to him. And he came into the room and he got into bed with my dad. And my brother was, my brother was out of the house at this point. He was a teenager living out of the house. And my dad was really confused, but he was super groggy because he'd been moving all day and he, whatever. So, he kind of like sidled up next to this person thinking it was my brother. And then he felt spiky hair, and my brother does not have spiky hair. And there was a really strong smell of alcohol, and my dad was like, I am so confused. And then this person started snoring, and so my dad got up and like went into the bathroom and splashed his face with water because he thought maybe he was dreaming or something. And when he came back into the bedroom, he flipped on the light, and there was a full-grown Hispanic man laying asleep in the bed. Anyway, and when the light came on, he just stared. He kind of woke up blearily and looked at my dad, and my dad was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" He started screaming at him, and the guy jumped up and went, "Oh, so sorry, Alex, Alex, Alex." He kept yelling about Alex, and my dad was like, "What are you doing here?" That's all he could think of to ask the guy. And the guy jumped up and ran out of the room and ran to the front door and got in his car that was parked in the driveway. Oh, I don't have my pickaxe. Dang. See, this is what happens when I don't pay attention. So my dad called the place. I mean, he was super shaken. And he called the place that he rented the property from that morning when they opened. And he told them the story. And they were like, they hadn't changed the locks yet, apparently. And so they came over, they changed the locks, they apologized profusely, told him how sorry they were. They were horrified. And the lady was like, I believe, wait, how much does it cost to upgrade my house? 10,000. Okay, wow. We are not there. Nope. I mean, I am interested. I just don't have the money. Oh, there's Sebastian. I have something for you. I swear it's him. Yeah, I really love this. How did you know? I just know these things. So anyway, the lady at the rental agency was like, I think the family that lived in this house before you did have this kind of black sheep brother that was kind of a problem and whatnot. And anyway, so a couple weeks later, my dad got a knock on the front door. And when he opened it, there was this very, very well-dressed, very dapper-looking Hispanic man standing on his porch. And he said, "Are you Mr. So-and-so?" And my dad said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I believe you've met my brother." And my dad was like, "Come in." And they talked about it. And the guy said, "I believe my brother was having an affair with my wife." Which explains why his brother knew where the master bedroom was. Anyway, the whole thing was just bonkers. And like, we laugh on it now, but at the time, you know, my dad was like, "What if he'd gone into your sister's room? You know, like I would have killed him." It's wild. Stranger than fiction. If you can think it up, it's probably happened. Okay, well, since I can't go to the mines, I guess I'll go fishing. And I don't have... Have we already tried this? Is my axe not strong enough to cut down these fellas? Yeah, no. Okay. I'm never visiting Utah. Crazy business. Yeah, but I would imagine that crazy things happen in New York, too. Crazy things happen everywhere. Like I said, it's a funny story now, but he told me the story in the car. I think I was driving somewhere, and he was relishing telling the story because of all my reactions, because I was so confused. I was like, where is this story going? What in tarnation? He was loving it. Okay, is it just me, or is the bar for my fishing, that green bar that's bobbing up and down, is it like a lot bigger than it used to be? I think Willie has new fishing poles that I probably can't afford. Whoops. Wow, I am super paying attention. Oh, Michael, you really did get a haircut. I thought you were just kidding. El Guapo. The only time I ever took Spanish in junior high, my teacher told us we needed to call him El Guapo. Doesn't that mean handsome? Is that the bad guy in the Three Stooges? Three Amigos? El Guapo? Doesn't that mean handsome? The Three Amigos. Name a better comedic trio than Martin Short and Chevy Chase and Steve Martin. You know who is funny is Martin Short as Jiminy Glick. Oh my gosh. Oh, he is a very, very funny man. I felt really bad. Oh, no, please. No, you don't have to worry about it. It's totally fine. Now, if Charlotte had, like, lost a toe or something, nah. Totally not worried about it. I thought it was clever, actually. I've been very, very vigilant with Auden. So far, she has not gotten a hair tourniquet. She will be 7 months old on Friday. The days are so long, but the months have just flown by. Totally flown by. Especially with Charlotte being in school. Oh my gosh. I have seen ads for Only Murders in the Building. I know so little about it. I've seen ads for that. I haven't heard anything about it. I also just saw today that apparently a new trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel was dropped, which I don't have any interest in because I wasn't a Game of Thrones fan in the first place. I have yet to watch the Stranger Things Season 4 teasers. I've been meaning to because I hear they're creepy and people are excited about Stranger Things 4. I worry about Stranger Things 4 though because Stranger Things season 3, I got freaked out by like all the body horror and everything. I loved seasons 1 and 2. That was one of the reasons I loved seasons 1 and 2, was because it had a great storyline and it was supremely creepy without being overly gory, because I can't handle gore. I am a weenie. So I liked that I could watch this creepy show without having this awful, disgusting imagery, which is why I can't watch Squid Game, which I've heard nothing but incredible things about, but I can't watch it because it's rated TV MA, and we all know what that means. So, I don't know. But is it Martin Short? It is Martin Short. I love Martin Short. He's so funny. His Jiminy Glick. Woohoo! Yeah, no, we're just gonna trash that. I really am not on the up and up with TV. I know about this Squid Game. Okay, wait. The best movie trios: Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. That was also a good trio. It's honestly been such a joyous delight. I think the final episode is next week. R.I.P. Samwise. What do you mean R.I.P. Samwise? Who is Samwise? The only Samwise I know is Samwise Gamgee. Isn't that his name? Sam from Lord of the Rings? Well, that is good to know that it's a good show, because I know nothing about it. Why am I hanging on to this crystal fruit? I feel like I am hanging on to this crystal fruit for some reason. Best movie trios: Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, and Steve Buscemi. Oh, I've never seen The Big Lebowski, actually. I would probably agree with you if I had seen it, but I have not. I've heard so much about it, and I know it's very quotable, but I don't know really a whole lot about it. Is Only Murders in the Building, is that on Hulu or Amazon? I can't remember what it is. It is almost 11 o'clock. I need to get to bed. The actor who played Samwise died in Stranger Things Season 2. Oh, yes. Okay, I was super confused for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Yes, Bob. Good old Bob. He was great. Joyce has had it rough, man. First she loses her kid. I mean, she gets him back, but she loses him for the first season. Then she gets him back, but he's not really her kid, kind of, sort of. Then she loses Bob. Sad. From what I have seen of like YouTube clips and stuff, the actor who plays Billy, Billy is so creepy. He is terrible. And I think he has like a bad past. Usually guys like that do. People are not ever really just born that way. I think they're usually created based on like what happens to them in their lives or whatever. But he does such a great job. I saw the scene, like I said, I haven't actually seen Stranger Things Season 3. I've seen the first 2 episodes. But there's a scene where he is walking toward Eleven and he's got tears in his eyes and he's saying the most awful things to her. And I think, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like he's just battling with himself. You know, he's like possessed, but he knows what he's doing is wrong, and he's done these terrible things, but he's saying terrible things, and he's threatening her, and he just seemed to do a really, really great job. He has the most insane bedroom eyes. I can't remember his name, but I think he's Australian, which is just unfair. Those Aussies and their accents. He was so frightening, though. You do not mess around. Nuclear Bunny! Oh my gosh, welcome! Okay, wait. Hold on. I think it's Hulu for you Americans. It's Disney Plus for me. Okay, so wait. Only Murders in the Building is on Disney Plus? Ted Lasso is the best show on TV at the moment. I know nothing about Ted Lasso. Oh, Apple TV. I forget about Apple TV. Okay, Nuclear Bunny. says that show goes from 0 to 100 real quick, then back to 0, on to 100, keeps people on their toes. Which show are we talking about? Are we talking about Stranger Things? Are we talking about Only Murders in the Building? Are we talking about Ted Lasso? Or are we talking about Squid Game? Me too! I saw only the first 2 episodes of season 3. Oh, of Stranger Things? I couldn't do it. I could not handle it. Stranger Things. Yes, I agree. Oh. Wait a minute. Billy was also the Red Ranger in the Power Rangers remake? That somehow makes it even better. Oh my gosh. That is so great. Yeah, I watched the first season. So I watched the first 2 episodes of season 3, and I was just like, you see, okay, I think he takes the female lifeguard, and the rats are like turning into that nasty, just like bloody, nasty little piles of just nastiness. And he brings the female lifeguard, and you see just like a sliver of the monster, like it steps into the frame. And I just remember being like, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm good. I don't need this. It's fine. And I stopped, and I've never watched it since. I've seen like some clips, you know, on YouTube or whatever, but Nuclear Bunny, I'm happy to have you here. Do you like to play games? What games do you like to play? Are you a Stardew Valley fan? You must be, since you're here. In Europe and I think other non-NA regions, Disney Plus comes with stars, so we get like Bloody Armageddon and Con Air on Disney Plus. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that I should not be watching Only Murders in the Building with like my 7-year-old in the room. Like, that's one of the things I like about Disney Plus is the fact that I know she can pretty much watch anything on there and she's not gonna have nightmares. However, the movie Willow is on Disney Plus, which terrified me as a kid. So, but luckily that show is all people. It's not animated, so she's not gonna watch it because she has 0 interest in like live action movies. Like, unless they're Disney, like if she knows it's like Aladdin or, you know, whatever. I kind of jump around, but yeah, hooked on to Stardew Valley at the moment. Well, I'm happy you're here. Thanks for joining us. I talk and I get kind of distracted during my Stardew Valleying. But I love, Stardew Valley has a very special place in my heart. I did love the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. I thought they were done so well. I loved the acting. I loved everything. But then season 3, I was like, nah. And even my sister was like, just so you know, season 3 takes it up just a little, takes the body horror up a notch. And I was like, oh man, dang. So who knows what season 4 will be like. I need to watch the trailers. But from what I've seen, it seems like Billy made a very formidable villain. And he was frightening in season 2 anyway, before he was possessed. Before he was like a legit monster, like paranormal monster. But see, that's the scary thing, is that he was a person that was very real in season 2, you know? Somebody that just had nothing to lose and was, you know, really full of himself and got into trouble. And, you know, that scene where he's driving in the car with Max and he's driving super fast and, you know, he was crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't know. He did a really good job. I just watched Gravity Falls. I actually don't watch Gravity Falls that much anymore, just because I never turn the TV on. I watched a Gravity Falls episode the other day, because it had been a while since I'd seen that episode, and I thought of like a scene or something from it. Or I'll watch like a King of the Hill with Ander when he's watching it, but I don't actually like sit down to watch anything. Actually, I should probably watch, I've been meaning to rewatch Stranger Things because it's almost Halloween, so it's perfect, but I just haven't yet. I can't commit to a 45-minute episode. I'll either fall asleep or I just don't have time. I can cross-stitch and watch Stranger Things. I do have some great pixel art from Stranger Things, some fan-made pixel art from Stranger Things that I'd love to cross-stitch. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. Billy has a redemption moment in season 3. That's good. Because because obviously in season 2, there's that reveal that his dad, no, it's his stepdad, yeah? His stepdad who hits him. Spoiler, sorry. And I was like, I knew it. There had to be some reason that this kid is the way that he is. Nobody is just born that way. Something had to happen. Poor kid. Wait, do I need algae to make a fish pond? No. Yes, seaweed. I think I need algae. I think. It's noon. Let's go to the beach. Hey, follows! Oh my gosh, how are you? See what emote you get? Those are my Kalulu emotes. We love Kalulu around here. Kalulu is the derpy cousin to Cthulhu. Oh, Harvey. Gosh dang, why can I not remember his name? Keep calling him Henry. It's okay to get a moderate amount of sunlight. Dude, are we still on the sunlight? Last time I talked to you, I mean, I guess you are after my own heart. You are protecting your skin. It's totally fine. Just don't get burnt. Truth, truth. There was a kid, so have I said this on, I can't keep straight what I've talked about on stream before. We went to a water park one day for like ninth grade water park day or whatever. And there was this kid that he was kind of this strange kid that, anyway, he kind of ended up hanging out with us for the day, which was fine. I was okay with that, I guess, at the time, because he didn't turn into the creeper he was until we got into like high school. But he was pasty white. Never put on sunscreen the whole day. We were at that water park for easily 6-7 hours. Did not put sunscreen on at all. And I remember even in ninth grade, I was like, dude, you need to put sunscreen on. Like, I can see your skin burning. I can see it. And he was like, no, it's fine. I don't need sunscreen. It's totally fine. I guess he was trying to be cool. Ain't nothing cool about burnt skin, yo. Nothing cool about skin cancer. And his skin burned so badly, I found out later that he blistered and actually he ended up having to go to the doctor. It's like, this all could have been avoided if you just put on some SPF. Come on, man. Yes. I don't know how much seaweed I need, but I need some seaweed to build a fish pond. Billy gets his powers from his mustache. Does he have a mustache? I guess he kind of does have a mustache. I thought he was... Wait, his mustache or his mullet? Because he has a glorious mullet. Tuna. Yes, I want this tuna. I will replace the tuna. I will replace my coral with tuna. Well, now I don't have any room to put anything. Gee dang it. You know what's hot? I don't know. There are many things. Not Billy's mullet. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, but his mullet. Weren't all those ladies at the pool, all those older ladies at the pool, like thirsting after him? I mean, I got that. Yes, the mullet. Oh, Billy and his mullet. That guy's skin? Very much so. Yeah, it was bad. Bad situation. That kid ended up, he was the one that kept like grabbing my sides in the halls at school without, like, I kept telling him to stop and to leave me alone. We were never really friends. My mom almost moved into the house, the rental property across the street from his house. And I was like, Ma, do you want me to have a peeping Tom? Which may sound mean, but he was so creepy. And I eventually had to smack him in the face to get him to stop putting his hands on me in the halls at school. I was like, dude, seriously, if you don't stop, I'm gonna go tell like the officer here, or like the front office or something. I backhanded him. Did I know Stranger Things Nancy and Jonathan are dating in real life? I did not know that, but that makes sense. I liked Steve. I thought Steve was great. And actually, I really appreciated his character because he was not your quintessential cool guy. He kind of was in the beginning, and you were like, okay, we know where this is headed. But then there's that scene where he's helping her with her homework, like he snuck into her room and helped her with her homework, and then they start making out, and she's like, Steve, I'm supposed to be doing my homework. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, I thought that such and such, such and such. And then she gets mad at him, and he calls her beautiful, and then he keeps going with her homework. He doesn't push it. He didn't like... Really cool. Thanks, Nuclear Bunny! Thanks for following my channel. I appreciate it. I'm happy you're here. Maybe we could hang out or something. But I just appreciated that scene because he showed himself to be somewhat of a gentleman. And he wasn't just that kind of quintessential, like, come on, like, let's make out or whatever. I mean, obviously he wanted to, but I don't know. That look she gives him when he's like reading off her notes after he's tried to make out with her or whatever. I'm like, I feel that, Nancy. I feel that. Steve's a good guy. I don't know. I liked Steve. But it's okay. It's fine. I like Jonathan too. That kind of came out of left field for me. I don't know. But that's okay because I felt like I feel like the way they took both those characters, like Nancy and Jonathan, like that was fine. And then Steve, how he became like the mom to all the kids. I thought that was great. I actually really loved that. That was such a great twist. And you can find all sorts of like YouTube, compilations of like Steve Harrington being a dad or being a mom for like 5 minutes straight or something. I just loved the way they developed his character. I don't remember exactly what happens. Yeah. Steve turns into Mom Steve in season 3. I mean, he's kind of Mom Steve. I remember when they're in the car and Max is driving after he's been completely wiped out by Billy. And he's like, oh my gosh. Like he's looking around at all these kids and how they're driving illegally. And he knows that he's responsible. And he's so upset. And they're like, calm him down, calm him down. I felt for him because I just thought, man, like everything, like he's a teenager and he's around all these younger teens. Poor Steve. Anyway, I can't say a whole lot about season 3 because I haven't seen the whole thing, but I just really liked the character arc of his. I really, really liked like how they kind of developed him and how he, like I said, he wasn't your quintessential like bad boy. Yeah, he made that stupid sign. I think, what did he say? Nancy was like a slut or something. He put it up on the marquee at the movie theater or whatever. And that was a jerky thing to do. But we've all made stupid mistakes. And he totally redeemed himself. But anyway, I like Steve. Steve's great. Yeah, I felt the same way. I never expected it. It took such a great turn. And that's one of the things I do like about Stranger Things is their writing is not, oh, my pickaxe is ready. Woohoo! Dear Susie. Oh, I'm supposed to read this in a British accent. That's right. I read in an article about you in the local paper. I'm so impressed with your progress on the farm. Keep this up, and dear old Dad might be retiring in a Fern Islands luxury bungalow after all. Love, Dad. Ta-ta. I think I have some hops. Blueberries. Sweet. Hops, hops, hops. I need to hang on. One of these hops is going to the community center. Another hops is going in here so I can make pale ale for Pam. And blueberries. I do love Stranger Things. I thought it was a really great show. And you know what? And this is coming from, this probably seems kind of stereotypical coming from me, but it goes to show you don't need gratuitous amounts of violence, gratuitous sex, and gratuitous horrible language to make a good show. If the writing is good and the storyline is good, people will watch it. Yes, sex sells. I get it. I know. But they did a great job with Stranger Things. And I'm sure season 3 was great. However, I did have a problem with Hopper's development in season 3. He kind of turned into this jerky, angry, brooding dad that I get because he was worried about Elle. I totally understand. She and Mike were making out in her room and she could like close the door without even getting up to close the door. Like that would be terrifying. But I did not like that he turned into kind of this like, isn't he in the car with Mike and he's like, crazy? You think I'm crazy? I didn't like it. I didn't like that. Oh, I need to bring eggs. I need big eggs. What is that? Oh, a duck egg. That's right. Summer crops. Oh, we're almost done with this one. Yeah. I get a gift. I have a quality sprinkler. Great. Great. Medicine bundle. That's where I'm where I'm headed. Right? Yes. I need 5 hops. What? Dang it. How did I not know that? I could throw this blueberry. It's a giant blueberry. Can we all just appreciate the size of this blueberry? Wow. Dang, 5 hops? Well, hops keep producing, yeah? Okay, I've got like, what, 14 days? No. I don't have quite 14 days. What do I have? Like 11, 12 days to get 5 hops? Dang it, dang it, dang it. Darn, 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 darnity darn. Do I have anything for Gunther? What is this? Is that a periwinkle? Nope, that is a mussel. Well, shoot. Now I have to get rid of something. Because I gotta go get my pickaxe. I can't get rid of any of that stuff. I need that stuff. Dang it, dang it. Well, it's only 8:40. Okay. 5 hops. 5. 5. So annoyed. Follows posts popcorn emotes. I'm trying to be as entertaining as possible. The artichoke? No, that's my hops. I need 5 hops. Do you guys like artichoke? I love artichoke. Oh my gosh. I don't know how anybody figured out how to eat artichoke, but I love artichoke. But you're right, it does look like an artichoke. Pam might not get her pale ale after all. Because I need every hops I can get. I don't know how often they reproduce. Okay, my eggs, my blueberries. I guess I need to put these hops away. I need to save these hops. How many times can I say hops? Hops, 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 hops. So many times. I don't know if I actually need this green algae, but I feel like to make a fish pond, I might need green algae. I don't know. I got all sorts of geodes I need to open, man. Artichoke is a pain to eat. That is true. Pomegranate are also pains to eat, but I also love pomegranates. Pomegranates are so good. I love the winter season because that's when they are in season. Oh, pomegranates are so good. But yes, they are a pain. Hops compilation. Hops, hops. Yeah, seriously. So many hops. How did I not know that? So I need 5 of all those things. 5 hops. Wait. 5 hops. 5, what is this? Ghost algae? White algae. Okay. 5 fiddlehead fern. And purple mushrooms. Oh, where do I get purple mushrooms? Oh, dear. I'll find him. Oh, I haven't checked my fruit bat cave. Go check that. I need my pickaxe. I need beanlet. I need my horse. That's what I need. I walk too slow. Moving at a glacial pace. Hey, dude. Hey, man. Okay, now I can open up my whatever it is. My big old asteroid, rock, comet, whatever it is. I'm not talking to anyone. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm trying to woo Elliot and I need a pomegranate. Wait, what does he like? Elliot. He has 1 heart. What does he like? Oh, that is not what I meant. So I haven't given him any gifts. Wait. Oh, okay. Fish. Gave him a sunfish. Okay, so he likes fish, apparently. And an egg. I gave him an egg. Okay, good. I can work with that. It's good. I love snails, but they're difficult to eat. Ooh. Ugh. You know, I've actually heard escargot is really, really delicious. I don't know. Ooh. I don't know if I could do it. Year 1, season 1. Year 1, summer 1. Yes. I don't know when I will get to Metroid Dread. obviously. Obviously I'm gonna get it, but I don't know when I'm gonna stream it. I know that was random, but I was just thinking about it because it's gonna come out in 2 days. Super excited. Oh, I can chop down some of this hardwood. Oh, you. What? Son of a half troll. Gee, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Well, so much for that. All that hard work. Okay, well, I do need 100 pieces of hardwood to get my horse. Beanlet. We're naming all my animals food. Just FYI your eyes. Beanlet comes from Raya. She's not here right now, but Beanlet is the best name for a horse. I think we can all agree. Beanlet. Gosh, think about it. We've got Metroid Dread. I want to play Eastward. Little Nightmares, probably. I have a Channel Point community challenge going for Little Nightmares. I think last I checked, I think we're like 70% there or something. It's coming. I'm scared. I know it's not like that scary of a game, but for a second there, I thought you were really going to say the B word since you said it in stream already. No! No, that was an accident. I immediately, when I stopped streaming, I immediately went into the bedroom and Andrew was laying in bed on his phone and I was like, I just cussed on the stream. And he was like, did you? And I was like, yes, it was an accident. I'm a terrible person. My streams are always family friendly. I was trying to say 8-bit cross stitch. I promise. It's 2:50. Oh, it's Tuesday. Robin's not even in her... She's exercising with all her girls over in Pierre's shop. You know what? Let's go and open all these geodes to find out what's inside. Although, I don't know if I have a lot of room for stuff. Get rid of all my algae, my ore, my coal, my sprinkler that I'm not going to use yet. I will put up sprinklers. Can I craft sprinklers? Sprinklers? I can craft tiny sprinkler. Okay. Let's go break open these geodes. Ah, I've got 10 minutes. And then I'm going to have to sign off. I liked streaming at noon today. It was nice. It was actually really nice. Kind of gave me a reason to like put myself together early on in the morning. Most days I stay in my workout clothes literally all day. I go on my walk and then I just stay. And that sounds terrible, but it's because I just have so much crap I always have to get done. And I'm always like, oh, well, I'm going to mow the lawn today. So there's no point in changing out of my workout clothes because I'm going to get all sweaty again. So I might as well just stay in my workout clothes. Or I'm going to, what? We just missed him. Shoot. Shoot. Clint, why you got to close at 4? That's just silly. Why you gotta take a day off? Why you gotta go home? I need you 24 hours. I feel like this playthrough of Stardew Valley is all over the place. It's because when I get talking and I tell stories, I get distracted and I forget what I'm doing. That is good. I do need algae for a fish pond. Is Willy open? How much are his fishing rods? Red mullet. Nope. Okay. Ugh, just missed him too. Gosh dang you. You. A train is pathing through Stardew Valley. Oh. Ooh, that is an iridium grade red mullet. That is good. That's great. I'm assuming you get more money for the iridium grade. Iridium, silver, gold. Oh, gosh. Tuna. Have I turned all these in to the community center? I think I have. I put this one in the wrong spot. How did I do that? Oh, that makes me mad. They have to go where they... Ugh, makes me mad. Wait a minute. Have I caught... I have caught... No, I have not. I've caught a flounder. I thought I'd caught tilapia, but I have not. How many in chat like tilapia? I've heard very good things about tilapia. I don't like fish. Any fish. You know what? Lies. I can eat tuna fish, like a tuna fish sandwich. And I have eaten good sushi, but I don't like love sushi, and I don't like go out of my way. I'm not like, oh gosh, let's go get sushi tonight. I'm a pretty cheap date, actually. But I just don't really like fish, and yet my husband is a fisherman. I don't know, man. Bronzini fan? What is bronzini? I'm too lazy to eat fish, too much work for my taste. Oh, too much work for my taste. Yeah, yeah. You know what is the worst part about about being married to a fisherman or dating a fisherman is the fact that they bring fish home and then they gut them and clean them in your kitchen. And they knock them out with a hammer. It's so awful. I hate that sound. It's so gross. Charlotte loves it. She's all about it. Which, actually, I'm kind of grateful for. Charlotte is my 7-year-old. Oh, I thought that was tilapia for a second. That is a flounder. And I'm grateful that Ander showed her early on how to gut and clean a fish. And, you know, she's not, like, grossed out or weirded out by it or whatever. Because Ander was like, you know, we're too far removed from where our food comes from. We don't ever think about it because they come in these neat little packages. So he was like, I want to expose her early on. Oh, that is a halibut, not a tilapia. They always seem fishy. See, that's what I say. And people are always like, oh, if you cook fish like that and it tastes like fish, you're cooking it wrong. Or you should try this because it doesn't taste fishy or whatever. But you know what? I can honestly say I've taken all that advice and it still tastes like fish. Still tastes like it's been swimming around in the ocean and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. How's my energy? Ooh, this is the time the fish are biting, man. 7:40 p.m. Summer nights. Okay. Noted. Whoa! I got a super cucumber. Sweet. I think I did a fishing pond with cucumbers in it. I seem to remember my brother trying to convince me a rock was a sea cucumber one time. I think we were in Hawaii. And he pulled up this rock and he was like, Suze, look, it's a sea cucumber. And I was like, that doesn't look like a sea cucumber. He was like, yeah, can't you see it? It's kind of breathing. Oh, Scorpio, you're so kind. Now Nuclear Bunny can use Kalulu emotes. Woo! Oh, Kalulu is the best. Kalulu provides. Kalulu provided with my YouTube lighting, that's for sure. I was trying to use lights I have around here, but I already have lights like that I just kind of own and like had around that I use right here. And I could have done singing videos in here, but it's just not the same. This office background just isn't what I'm looking for. What about fish sticks? No, I don't like fish sticks either. Well, I can kind of handle popcorn shrimp, kind of. with lots of lemon juice. But I just don't like it. I just don't. But Charlotte loves it, and so does Ander. And so they can do like fish fries with each other, and I'll just have like a bowl of frosted mini wheats or something. I'm not kidding. On the nights Ander and Charlotte do like fish fries, I just have like a bowl of frosted mini wheats. Okay. I'm gonna go to bed. Ander should be going to get Charlotte off the bus here soon, so I mean, I have to sign off anyway, but 10 days. Good boy. But this has been a fantastic stream. This has been so great. I have enjoyed myself thoroughly. Thank you guys all for the follows and for the subscriptions and for the great conversation. You guys are fantastic. I love each of you. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me. This was great. I always, like I say, I always look forward to my streams. I get to stream on Wednesdays and on Sundays, and I look forward to that so much. I'm gonna sign off. I'll be back on Sunday with more Stardew Valley, Sunday evening, 7:30. If you haven't already, please join our Discord. There have been links kind of. Oh, Scorpio says, our house is sick and feeling awful, but negative COVID test just came back, so I'm celebrating. Whoop, whoop. No COVID for Scorpio's household. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, ceviche. I do not like ceviche. I tried it at my cousin's $1 billion wedding, and I did not care for it, but I did try it. I was proud of myself. I tried it. Didn't really like it, but I did try it. Less than 3 for all of you. I appreciate all of you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. And for all those that are diving into Metroid Dread, I will stream it one of these days, but not like in the immediate. We'll still do some Stardew Valley, but I mean, it's really kind of up to you guys. But is she still asleep? Hi, baby. You're walking down to. Okay, here, I'll take her. Hi, sweet girl. This is Auden. This is the baby cakes. She's wearing her little blanket. Huh. Cutie patootie. She just woke up, so I've got to go make a bottle. Anyway, Anders going to get Charlotte off the bus. Again, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you on Sunday night. You guys take care. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And yes, this is Cupcake Omega. Huh. Hi. Yeah, we like to chew on this little blanket here, so it's all nasty, but we just had a good nap. Yep. Little pumpkin doodle. All right. I will see you guys. I mean, why not? Let's get some spooky for Spooktober. You mean Metroid Prime? Not Metroid Prime. Metroid Dread or Little Nightmares? I've got this Channel Point community challenge going for a kind of a creepy game, and I think a middle of the road for something I can handle is most likely Little Nightmares, but I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off. I will see all of you guys on Sunday, and thanks for being here. I love you all. Bye.